podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this is Dollar Beat.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man, spirit can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, the kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar though. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for 300 million, and I made 350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside two co-hosts, maybe three today. We're going to be talking the best divisions in boxing. All credit goes to ESPN's Dan Rayfield and Steve Kim that really laid down the groundwork on this article that we will turn into a podcast. So we're going to be talking best divisions in boxing. We're going to have Lucas Body back on the show this morning from Canada at 9:30. And, yeah, man, that's about it. The number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one-time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. As long as you're a Patreon of the Boxing Voice Daily Show user, you're all good to go. Let's head on out to New Jersey Zone.
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynch is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. Get up!
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Good morning to everyone. If you're on your way to work, if you're working from home, if you're just staying home to teach your kids, because that's what's going on at this time, get yourself a cup of coffee, turn on the Boxing Podcast, number one in the world, TBV, we here. Who the best in the weight division? I don't know. Mario?
It's me, Mario.
Man, y'all caught me mid trying to get my dip in. Yo, man, late night over here. Man, I didn't get but like an hour and a half of sleep, and it's crazy too because we didn't really have that late of a show last night. We had a scorecard box. Yeah, man, we had scorecard Tuesdays. If you didn't get to see that, check it out. We did Mayweather Castillo 1. Such a fun fight. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I had like maybe 2 hours of sleep, and it was texting Ness early. Was like, let's get this show going, bro. I was ready, and now I'm like, brr. But I'll be good though. I'll be good. This is a fun topic to me. Actually, I sent this topic to Ness last week when I wasn't sure if we were gonna have a Friday night show. So I was like, yo, we could do this topic, which Steve Kim and Dan Rafael, as Ness said, put together for us. Basically, what's the best division right now in the sport of boxing? We've had a lot of really great divisions over the last 20 years. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what our favorite divisions are. I got the old trusty, reliable Ring Magazine rankings. So I figure, we'll go through what our favorite weight classes are, and then let's like take a dip back into 2000 and see what that weight class looked like back then. So if your favorite weight class right now, let's just say was I don't know, let's say light heavyweight. Well, 2000, Roy Jones Jr. was sitting on top of the light heavyweights. And a lot of dudes I don't really recognize, except for Reggie Johnson and David Telesco and Montel Griffin and Chris Johnson and Antonio Tarver. And I don't think I know who Derek Hammond is, but y'all feel what I'm saying. But we'll take a look back in time, check that out too. There was another really good question in there too, Doomy. It basically read, who is most likely to make a comeback this year? Like what fighter could like make a legit comeback? A fighter that's retired.
Yeah, they mentioned a couple of names, but
but
I mean, I don't know. Even the name that they mentioned, Lamont, I don't know if he's coming back the way that they're talking about. But I couldn't really
that dynamite research drop in.
Yeah, I'm saying I was trying to see who would make a comeback, like who's recently retired, but I couldn't really think of.
I think that we could do it one of two ways. One, we could do it that way, the way that we're talking about right now from the article. Or two, what if we decided to choose and the callers got to choose what fighter, like any fighter right now, you could bring back for one more fight in their prime against what fighter right now is in their prime. You know what I mean? Like Mike Tyson, Wilder.
Oh, you're going back. You're going back.
Well, I said we open it up because, like you said, like it's a question that we haven't gotten to ponder. So, open it up a little bit. That way, we get a little more conversation.
I was gonna say like somebody that would always come back to me would be like Floyd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and
And in the article, they said that Dan Rafael made it clear that he doesn't think that he's coming back. And I think that's why he picked Lamont Peterson, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, no.
I thought it was Steve Kim that picked Lamont.
Yeah, it was Steve Kim. Rafael picked it was Daniel DeGale.
Okay.
Yeah, he picked.
Wow, he picked Daniel DeGale.
Yeah, Daniel DeGale.
Oh yeah. You're talking about Chunky. I'm thinking when you said DeGale, I'm thinking.
I meant James DeGale. I'm sorry.
Daniel.
I said Daniel.
And that's why I'm thinking of Daniel Gill. No, I'm thinking of Daniel Gill because you said
that. In my head to say. Yeah. I'm gonna say James DeGale, but anyway, yeah, we chop it up. You want me to break down this article real quick, Ness, or you got it?
Nah, go for it, man. I'll roll up.
Chop it up.
Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today. We're talking about what is the best division in boxing. We're gonna give, maybe our runner up first, and then we'll get into like who it is what division that we think is tearing it up, or the best division right now. Steve Kim and Dan Rafael tackled this subject. Steve Kim went with a really great choice, in my opinion. He went with the junior middleweight division. Some of his reasons were IBF and WBA super unified title holder Jason Rosario is in the division, as well as WBC titleist Jermell Charlo and WBO belt holder Patrick Teixeira, who we talk about on this show quite a bit. They have a combined mark of 84-3-2 with 53 KOs. That right there is a top division with just those guys. But that's not it, because he mentioned the fact that, by the way, there's still a Tony Harrison in there. By the way, there's still who else? I'm missing some. Arizona and DeLaura. There's still a Jarrett Hurd. There's still a
possible Kell Brook.
Yes, he mentioned Kell Brook, Julian Williams in the division. So if you look at this division as a whole, it's really good, and there's still so many guys that are under those names that like a guy like Erickson Lubin,
Charles Conway,
Israel Madrimov, who we got to see actually in Dallas at the table while watching DAZN. I didn't get a chance yet to go back, but me and Coach Mitty definitely got to see him perform, and he's definitely really good. As for Dan Rafael, he talked about the fact that the welterweight division has been the money division in boxing for years, which is absolutely true. It's still a money division with guys like Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and Keith Thurman, but he went with the lightweight division.
I mean, it's I'm not hating on him for doing that. Actually, you know what I'm saying?
Me
Because
neither.
usually, because like, let's get it straight. Like 147, that's where like most of these superstars kind of like halt or stop for a while if they're ever gonna keep going past that weight. Like that's where they work themselves up to. So, you know, you got Tio. And you got all these Gervonta, you got all these guys at these lower weight classes that are making their way up to that 147 pound. And like when you really start to think about it, careers don't really fully reach their pinnacle until they get to that weight, to that 147 line. That's like their ultimate division to get to from these two lower weight classes.
I wouldn't call it the ultimate. I think that there's just that common knowledge in boxing that the welterweight division is the money division if you're not a heavyweight.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you start to look at where all the numbers are being pulled in the last like 5-10 years in boxing, where the most money has been pulled from, it's probably going to be the 147 pound division. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like you got paydays at 140, 135. You got all these paydays, but like the guys that are, Lomachenko's kind of small, so like we don't see him like jumping up to 147 and looking, strong. But the guys that got, a little length or taller, that are developing into their bodies, because a lot of these fighters are real young at these lower weight classes. Once they reach 147, they've matured, they've kind of grown into their bodies, and they're sort of looking for the biggest fights possible, in my opinion.
No, and that's the thing is, when picking a division, I think it is important to look at what surrounds it. You know what I mean? Because you could pick like a junior middleweight division. Well, that's probably a bad decision or choice to use, because that example would pertain middleweights or welterweights. But let's say like you pick a division, right, that's real top heavy, and it doesn't have a lot of stacked at the bottom, and then there's not really people in the lower class or the upper class to come down or up. It could hinder it, because there's a lot of other divisions where, there are huge fights pertaining to up or down, but can a guy come to that weight class is the question. I think that's what would go into the ultimate choice. But, going right into it, if y'all are ready, I will definitely love to start it off.
Heavyweights champ. Let's start it off with the heavyweights champ.
Heavyweights is a difficult one not to pick at this point.
But wait, but how are we starting it with the heavyweights? I mean, I think we need to start with the article and ask each other the question. So the first question is, what's the best boxing division? Alex, you're up first.
Heavyweight. I just said it, man. Heavyweight has taken over, in my opinion. The heavyweight division has never been stacked the way it is. And also you have prospects and contenders coming up right behind everybody. I mean, it's bubbling. It's a lake full of piranhas out there in the heavyweight division. And, I see that in the next, 2 to 3 years, it'll definitely just supersede, if you want to say, the 147 division in money. Or it'll just take over. I think that it's looking real good for the heavyweight division. The future is looking pretty good. And, it's always been about the heavyweight division, up until, maybe like when Floyd Mayweather started fighting, if not before, when Julio Cesar Chavez was fighting. I mean, but there was always heavyweight fights, and there was always good 147-pound fights, but it was never, the 147-pound division. Oh, everybody's getting up to go, to go see the 147-pound. And don't get it twisted, you had superstars, you know what I'm saying, at the 147-pound division back in the day. And I'm talking about like Tyson days, Julio Cesar Chavez days. There was always great fighters, but like the heavyweight division was always the division that everybody wanted to, talk about. That was the champ of champs. And I think we're back there now. I think we're back to a place where the heavyweight division is gonna, incur the most money and the most attention.
Well, looking at it, obviously it's top heavy.
Was that mucus salty?
Wilder. Sorry?
No, I was asking Doomy, was that mucus salty?
Not as salty as yours last night.
Man, cleared the nostrils.
That's a good one. That's what we call a zinger where I'm from. Yo, look, Fury, Wilder, Joshua. These are the three names that dominate. Dillian White could probably be put into that mix as well in terms of top guys, obviously. But
wait, you picking heavyweight too?
No. I'm not. I'm just going through it, kind of looking to see where
he tried to pick it apart.
Nah. Answer the question, champ. Answer the question.
This is why I wanted to go through his, because to be honest with you, I'm gonna be like the most basic bitch this morning, because 135 has to be it. It has to be. How can anyone pick anything other than? No, I'm fucking with you. No, listen, heavyweight, obviously, but 135 to me has so many interesting matchups that we haven't yet seen. And obviously there are fights at heavyweight that we haven't seen, so I'm not gonna, hate or anything like that. But you got the Lomachenkos of the world, who was my pound for pound guy. It changes, depending on the season. Sometimes I consider Bud the number one, and then sometimes I consider Lomachenko the number one. Just, I guess, whoever's fighting first. But Lomachenko Teofimo is definitely the money fight of the division. That's a big fight. But you still got guys like Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, who are guys that are stars, that have the potential to be crossover stars. Okay, but that's not it. That's not it, because when you go to 130 and you look at the guys that are on their way up, the Miguel Burchets of the world, that guy can produce a top quality fight at any point. And if you look at anybody else that would essentially move up at some point, I know Joseph Diaz just won a title and he's a titleist there. And so obviously he's not moving up anytime soon, but you could mix and match any of these guys. And you still have Jorge Linares. You still have Richard Comey in the division. You still have Lee Selby. So to me, the 135 is probably the richest division in terms of the future, because you have all these guys at this division stacked, and a lot of these fights are easier to make than most of the super fights in the world. You talk about, welterweight's great. It sure is great. It would be even better, and in my opinion, the best division, if Crawford was fighting everybody, but he's not able to fight everybody. So that division is, in my opinion, taken a half a notch below. So 135 would be my pick. Although, to mix it up and not to be the most basic bitch, I am gonna say, featherweight's like my all-time favorite. Division. I always loved the featherweight division. In fact, actually, let me go to heavyweight. So in 2000, Doomy, these were, and Ness, what I'm gonna do is, whatever y'all pick, I'm gonna go to the Ring Magazine's rankings for 2001. And so at heavyweight in 2001, listen to these names and tell me if it stacks up with heavyweights today. So you picked heavyweight as the best division. In 2001, Lennox Lewis was the reigning number one. The ring title was vacant. Mike Tyson was number 2. Kirk Johnson was number 3. Evander Holyfield was 4. David Tua was 5. Vlad Klitschko was 6. Oleg Maskov, I think is how you say his name, is 7. Michael Grant was 8. Hasim Rahman was 9. And Chris Bird was 10. So as much shit as we give the heavyweight division over the years, this was still a time where there was some significant names in there. And so it was popping. As far as lightweight's concerned, the division I picked, Jose Luis Castillo was number 1, who we saw fight last night against Floyd Mayweather in their first encounter. Stevie Johnston was 2. Paul Spadafora was 3. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't think Paul Spadafora would be there. Takanori Hatakeyama, I butchered that. Cesar Vazan, Angel Manfredi, Artur Girajani, I don't know, Colin Dunn, Jesse James Leha, and Gilbert Serrano rounded out the lightweight. So you can see that the lightweight division compared to 2001 is definitely stacked today compared. As far as the heavyweights, there were some significant names, but where Tyson was in his career, where Evander Holyfield was in his career in 2001, they were definitely still significant names. Evander was still doing it for the most part.
Who were the stars? Who were the stars?
I would say Lewis, Tyson, Holyfield. I don't think Klitschko was you got to consider him a star, right? I mean, he had the gold medals. He came in. Him and his brother were definitely making names for themselves. David Tua.
The names you just mentioned in the lower division, who was a superstar around that time?
Definitely Castillo for sure, right?
So, you compare it, you know what I'm saying? Compare that stardom to Tyson's stardom around that time. Yeah. It's it wasn't the same. The money, the big events, the huge money was in the heavyweight division, and that's what I'm saying. That's why these
Absolutely.
heavyweights talk about it all the time. Is like the heavyweight division is back. It was always about the heavyweight division, and you know, the money that the combination of fights. And like I said, you could do this with any of the weight divisions right now, but the combination of fights that you can make right now in the heavyweight division is a lot of ways to get big money, real big money. There's a lot of great heavyweight champs right now, contenders, and I think that the opportunity to make real big fights is not easy, but it's pretty good at the heavyweight division. If it wasn't all this promotional tape, obviously, but
Definitely. Nestor Gibbs.
yeah, Nestor don't want to
Nestor
answer.
Gibbs.
He
Man,
like,
y'all-
nah,
y'all-
I'm gonna let them.
I'm
I'm
letting-
gonna let them
I'm letting y'all run with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with Doomy, man. Heavyweight division is it for me. I mean, I came up on boxing through the heavyweight division. Mike Tyson, Foreman, those was the heavyweights of my era. Evander. Not only that, I was also brought up on that phrase being synonymous with boxing, that the heavyweights bring out the casuals. So, me being a boxing only guy, that's all I want is the best for the sport. So I'm running with the train of thought that casuals come out for heavyweights. And right now, you just listed off the quote unquote popular heavyweights of back then. That shit don't stack up.
2001. Yeah.
It don't stack up. In retrospect, bruh, I mean, it could be argued that Lennox maybe did more than Anthony, but it could be argued that Anthony, Joshua, and Lennox are already on the same level simply because Joshua's done it quicker. Less number of fights. Secondly, our generation's Mike Tyson is obviously Deontay Wilder. Regardless of the loss, Tyson had multiple losses and still considered a great. He didn't beat anyone the level of a Luis Ortiz, and he didn't fight anyone. Well, I guess he can't. He did fight someone on the level of Fury, but we will never know how Fury stacks up against the other heavyweights. I mean, the way that he moves, no other heavyweight moves like him but Ali. But yeah, man, I think that there's too many secondary names too. I mean, that division is so crazy. Like, I read the article. I hear what Steve Kim is saying, but I don't know. I don't want to disrespect anybody by saying specific names in 54. I'm just saying I'll take everything that's top 15 heavyweight. Yeah,
Damn.
Top 15 heavyweights is good. Like, I was reading an article today, Junior 5, Joseph Parker was going to fight. I mean, we already got Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce. We already got Wilder Fury. AJ Pulev. White is fighting Povetkin. Like, we already mixing it up. We ain't begging like 135. We ain't begging like 147. You know what I mean? And I can't really put 147 because there's only one guy not getting the fights that he wants. Everybody else is kind of mixing it up, even Ugas, but there's no issues in that division. I know a couple years ago, maybe even 18 months ago, people could have said there was issues, but that shit is long gone. Everyone respects everyone's value, and, that's what they doing, bro. They staying there. And they can all work together. At this point, Hearn has already said, that deals with Wilder and Fury make sense. Like I said, you got Joseph Parker already negotiating with Junior Fa. You got so many heavyweights there. Luis Ortiz is still in the mix. Oscar Rivas is still in the mix. Big Baby's still in the mix. It's just too many, man. Like, welterweight ain't like that. There's not enough secondary names in the welterweight division for me to be that excited. In the heavyweight division, we can match the top 15 and we're going to be super, happy. We're going to be super happy, man.
Yo, that's the exact the point I was trying to get to, because the only part I disagree with you about, I agree with both your points, But to me, I flip them. Where there is top heavy action throughout the last 20 years in boxing. We always had at least one or two, three big names. The Klitschko era is a little different, but you know what I'm saying, from the early 2000s. The difference for me between back then and the names like Holyfield and Tyson and Lennox Lewis compared to now is the deepness of the pool. You know what I mean? It's not as shallow as back then. I read the top 10 names, and let's be honest, like, there weren't nothing to write home about. But when you have, let's just take Fury Wilder Joshua out of it for a second. You still have Usyk and Povetkin and Ruiz and Dillian White and Chisora and Luis Ortiz. I mean, the names can go on and on. Joseph Parker's there, Pulev, and then look at the young guys. You got Joe Joyce out there. I know Oscar Rivas isn't young, but he's a guy that matches well. That wasn't there.
Well, he's young in career. He's young in career, so we still want to see a lot more of him, and we're excited about him. But you got guys like FA, you got Martin Bacoli, you got Charles Martin making a nice comeback. You got Hrgovic. Everybody's excited. Dominic Brazil just called out Dillian White. It's too much. Dubois. It's too much. Tony Yoka's coming. It's too much in that heavyweight. No division is fucking with the heavyweight division. I could go division by division and the names will stop. This is the only division where we're talking top 25. I just mentioned Yoka's name, bruh. Like, Junior Fa's not top 25, and we mentioned his name. I know I did because I'm excited about him. Franklin. He's starting to bubble. Jalil Zhang, a.k.a. Zili Zhang, you know what I'm saying? The Chinese heavyweight. He's not top 25. Like, and I'm still mentioning Frank Sanchez ain't top 25, and I'm interested. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man. The best division in boxing by far is the heavyweight division. There's no argument, in my opinion.
And I'm gonna go on record saying this, like, we talked about the past weight divisions and Tyson's era and all that. And that's mentioned that he never boxed a guy like Luis Ortiz, but I beg to differ. And it wasn't our time.
What southpaw with that amateur background show me who? Please educate me. I'm not saying you're wrong. I want education.
What, Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
What
heavyweight
does he have now you're compartmentalizing things. Now he has to be a southpaw.
Brother,
you said that
you sound crazy. You sound crazy. Listen to me. If I say he never fought the likes of a Luis Ortiz, isn't Luis Ortiz Cuban with an extensive background and he's a southpaw? Why would I say
he's
Luis?
An old fighter.
Brother, why would I say Luis if I meant an orthodox fighter? Why would I say Lewis if I meant a fighter with a little bit of amateur background?
All right. So then what you're saying then is that he never fought a Luis Ortiz type of skilled fighter. Then,
he
right?
never fought a fighter with that level of amateur background and a southpaw and that power.
I wouldn't say that.
I
wouldn't say that.
So
like,
educate me.
Super specific like
so
that.
Educate me. So
but
educate
when you talk
me.
about the skill set, that's a different topic.
That's different.
Like
you can say southpaw.
You can say southpaw. You can say
Cuban.
Cuban
style is very distinct.
See, now he's compartmentalizing.
He keep pushing the goalpost.
How am I pushing the goalpost? My man is Cuban. I literally said he's never fought a guy like Luis Ortiz.
Cuban.
It's like we say Tyson never fought somebody.
Bro, I could have easily
southpaw who fights as a forward fighter. Like what?
I could have easily said.
Tyson never fought
listen,
nobody named Tyson.
I could have easily said Hrgovic. He's another southpaw. I didn't.
Man, you said Ortiz. I thought about
I've always been high on Cubans. Everybody knows I picked Laura to beat Canelo, and I scored it for Laura that first time. So I don't know what you're talking about. I like Cubans, They present a difficult style. They have a lot of experience that always translates into the pros. The biggest knock on Cubans is letting their hands go.
Look, to argue my point a little bit, because obviously the heavyweight topic is running away with it. I think you do have to give credit though, because when you talk about the heavyweight division, you said it yourself. There's this already allure. There's this luster about it that doesn't reign true for any of the other divisions, right? But with the lightweight division, look at these guys are going to be able to create pay-per-views and stars that resonate throughout boxing, and they don't have that heavyweight crutch. And I said crutch. Vasil Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, these guys have the opportunity. Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, they have the they have the ability to turn the 135 division, and maybe it might end up being 140 at some point, but they have the ability to turn this division into like a money division. They really do. I mean, once we start getting these fights, and you're right, if the heavyweight division wins, it's only because it's active right now. That's the difference between some of the other divisions that we talked about. Although I would say 154 is active as well. You can't say it's not active. These guys are going to fight each other, and they have been fighting each other.
So let's talk, well, not to cut you up, but let's talk about who's the runner-up then. I mean, it looks like we're starting to agree with the heavyweight division, but like we said 147, so it's like, is everybody agreeing that the heavyweight division is it? Or is there a real competition right now in this day and age between another weight division where they could find money? Because you know that Mayweather could come out of woodwork and do some crazy shit. And say,
Mayweather could come out, but it ain't like the heavyweight division. And allow me to explain. We just seen Fury and Wilder both receive 20 to 25 guarantee. You can't pull up one fight where anyone got equal money with Mayweather or anywhere near equal money. Mayweather paid Victor Ortiz 2.5, Guerrero $2 million. Like, he don't pay. So if he comes back, he's getting a big check. If he comes back. No, I'm firm. I'm firm on my stance. There's no division besides the heavyweight division.
How about you, Mario? What fight in the 147-pound division besides Manny and well, let's leave Manny in there because he's still in there, right?
There's no fight. Still in there. There's no fight in the heavyweight in the welterweight division that garners both fighters making $25 million. It's impossible.
See, but that's the thing though, is for me, what is included in it is the quality of fights. And obviously the heavyweight division deserves a nod and could be number one because the quality of fights is high when you stack up all the fighters. But you look at that 135 and you look at the 140, which is my runner up, and it has the ability to produce fight of the year candidate no matter who you match up. Put in Ramirez and Taylor. Put in Progress and Taylor again. Put in Progress and Hooker. Put in, and we'll go back to the lightweight. Put in Lomachenko and Lopez. I mean, Davis and Haney. I mean, doesn't matter where you go. These are fight of the year candidates, hands down. So
why do you think they don't get paid?
The money, but
why do you think they don't get paid as much as let's say I mean, let's compare Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce in comparison to Devin Haney, and what's a huge fight for Devin? Ryan Garcia, right? But it's not happening right now. But like,
no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a bad comparison, brother.
That's super.
Because Daniel and Joyce aren't even on the level.
Superstar, yeah.
But I got where you were
Ryan.
going with it, though.
You know what I'm saying? Where's the comparison where we say, okay, this is definitely it? You know what I mean?
That's the point that y'all are making, though, is there is no comparison. That's why the heavyweight division is the money division. At any point that it starts to look like the way it does today, it's going to produce money. You know, these guys are stock investments. If you invest in the heavyweight division right now, you have to. If you're a network that's showing boxing, you have to invest in some heavyweights. You have to.
Bro, look at this UK dude. You guys can't help but be biased. George Foster, that's true, Ness. One of the reasons the heavyweight got so much money right now is because the attention AJ brought. We got to give him that. He rejuvenated the division.
You got to give him some props, though, man.
That's not true. Sure. That's not true. That's not true.
It's not true.
At all. At all.
Whoa.
Chill.
The one and only reason, you guys can lie and you can add shit onto this, but the one and only reason will still and will always be Tyson Fury defeating the 12-year reigning, defending Vladimir Klitschko.
That was a snore fest.
It doesn't matter.
Bro.
It doesn't matter.
If anything,
let me finish.
Motherfuckers turned the TV off and
he don't have his hand in his glove.
Let me
He's
finish.
with his wrist.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
No, you're right. You're right. It was a snooze fest and people didn't like it, but it doesn't matter. It's always going to be that moment in time that caused everything. From that fight, there was a ripple effect. All the belts came to Tyson Fury's house, and then everything happened from there. This will be history. When they play back Fury's 30-30 on ESPN, they will talk about how he dethroned Vlad, went on his 3-year hiatus, coke binge, came back, defeated the monster and Wilder. You can't take it away. It's not AJ. That is a fucking lie from fangirls. It was Tyson.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Sure,
Listen, it's all part
sure.
of
Let's
it.
give
It's
AJ
all
credit
part of it.
because he beat the dude that Tyson beat
No,
like
stop
5 years
stop
later.
Why? Listen. Why were those? Why was that fight so big in the first place? That fight was so big, first of all, because Fury
Because
was
it was
coming
for all
back.
the belts.
But Wilder and AJ had made each other household names at this point, just based off of the idea of them fighting. So you have to give credit to Joshua and Wilder. You can't just say it was Fury beating Wilder. No, Joshua
I didn't say Fury
brought
beating
so
Wilder. You misheard me. I said Fury beating Vlad. Because if he doesn't,
I'm so sorry. I thought you said Fury. I'm so
No,
sorry. I
because
forgot
that's why I jumped in and said it was a snooze fest. But I get it. The
Yeah.
belts did.
Listen, we got our first guest, so sorry to interrupt.
No
we
problem.
got Lucas Body on the line out of Canada. What's going on? Lucas, how are you, brother? Lucas? Lucas. All right, maybe he dropped off. Lucas, you there? I don't know.
Champ.
I mean, I definitely heard him, so let me have him
You
call
on
back
mute?
in. But go ahead. I guess you were saying what? I mean, like,
Go ahead.
You called it a snooze fest.
Go ahead,
I call it the moment in time where we didn't care about boxing, or rather heavyweight boxing, and HBO didn't care about heavyweight boxing.
So let's say
still didn't care about it.
let's just say after belts were redistributed.
All right. We got him. We got him. Lucas Body, how are you? Good morning. Thank you for taking out the time to come back on the show. What's going on, brother?
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing?
We're good, man. So how are you, brother? How is COVID-19 treating you?
Oh man, this is crazy. With all the gyms being closed and nothing to do, nothing to look forward to, nothing to watch on TV. It's a big change. I'm keeping in shape. I'm staying on the track, running the hills, doing what I can. But it's not what we're used to. That's for sure.
Hey, Lucas, Mario Munguia here. I'm sorry, Ness, were you going to jump in? No, go ahead. Okay. So let me ask you a question then. And this isn't like me trying to like say, oh, well, at least you did this. But how much harder do you think it is for guys? Because at the very least, you got a fight in 2020, and it was only, a month ago, for the most part. How much harder do you think it is for guys in your situation? You're 9-0 with 9 KOs, starting your career. How hard do you think it is for guys who haven't fought, it's going on months, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and now they don't think that they're going to be able to fight, maybe even for the rest of the year. How much harder do you think it is for that? And do you think that getting that fight in 2020 at least helped to a certain degree?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I couldn't imagine, not fighting for that long. It's a big setback, especially when I was on such a high roll. But for someone that hasn't fought in 4 or 5 or haven't fought this year and doesn't know if they're going to fight this year, whether it happens or not, what happens in the next couple months, we'll find out. But I mean, it's almost like it takes away your hunger sometimes, for fighters that haven't fought in so long, and they lose motivation. A guy like me, I don't lose motivation over things like this. I look at other things I could work on during this time. I know I'm not fighting for a couple months, so I'm working on diet. I'm working on my weight loss. But yeah, I mean, I bet a lot of fighters are losing motivation, especially when you don't have the atmosphere of the gym to train in.
Hey, Lucas, it's Alex here with the TBV. Thanks for coming on. I just wanted to know because, plenty of fighters, should I say, have come on, and different people have different opinions on what they're doing in the camp and trying to stay in shape. But one big question was always the sparring. And due to COVID-19, they told us to keep away, keep distance. But some fighters actually kept bringing in people, and tried to contain the situation and What are you doing that's closest to fighting, or what's the most important exercises that you're keeping on in order to stay in that fight shape? Is it shadow boxing? Is it running? Is it the bag? Is it the mitts? What exactly is it that's most important to you to do while this unfortunate break is happening in boxing?
Well, what I'm doing right now is doing a lot of hill sprints and shadow boxing. That's my main thing right now, just because I don't got access to a gym, and I don't got access to sparring, and obviously it's not allowed. But I mean, it's a good thing in one way too, right? Like, we all need a break from sparring so much. I was on a roll for a year, so to get a break and relax the mind a little bit is good sometimes. Take this time to watch film, to study the sport, instead of being in the gym and sparring all the time.
So, Lucas, man, I got to bring up that post you made. It's getting a lot of traction. I'm screen sharing it. Your quote is, "I can beat Lomachenko. He's hittable." I actually agree with you. My man is hittable, especially after the Pedraza fight. I knew that, someone is going to knock him out. Then Linares dropped him. I'm like, oh, man, this guy fights Haney. It might be over, in my opinion. But why do you believe you can beat him already with only 9 fights?
Well, I believe I got what it takes. I got the timing, I got the power, I got the speed. And you know what? Like, Lomachenko's an excellent fighter, He's amazing. He's incredible. I'm not taking anything away from him. But in a ring with 8-ounce gloves on, 12 rounds, one punch could end a fight. And I know that I got the power to knock anybody out at any given hour. And like the guy like Lomachenko, he's there to be hit up the middle, 100%. I don't care what you say, how good his footwork is, how good his head movement is. He's been hit, he's been dropped. It takes a guy like me to finish him. Like, if you look at the guys he's fought that dropped him and hurt him, they have nowhere near the punching power I have.
Nice. Yeah, look, I honestly, I do think that it's going to take somebody who doesn't go in there and isn't like awe-inspired by him. But real quick, let me take this back to the topic of fighting and the situation that we're in. Sean Porter recently came out and did an interview with, gosh, I can't remember who, but in the interview, he basically
Coach Larry Wade.
said, yes, thank you. He basically said that it was like a call to arms. He realizes the situation that we're in, and he's not, misunderstanding it at all. But what he does realize is that by the time we get to boxing again, time is going to, not be on anybody's side. He thinks that the top fighters in the world should not insist on getting tune-up fights, that these guys should just go in. And I'm talking about the Crawfords of the world. I'm talking about, the Spences of the world, the Porters. Do you think that that is something that can and might be done, or do you think that it would be foolish for any fighter, no matter how experienced, no matter what their styles or anything like that is? Do you think it would be stupid for these guys to not get a tune-up fight if this thing goes to the end of the year or longer?
You know what? That's a really good question. As far as tune-up fights, like, I've never been in that situation where I've had that much time off. So to answer that question properly, I mean, you'd have to ask someone that's taken the time off and has tune-up fights. I mean, as an amateur, I was fighting the best all the time. I had no choice. So there's no tune-up fights there. And then, in the pros, I've just been on a roll. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if you're getting the proper world-class sparring, I don't think tune-up fights are necessary. Like you said, time's on nobody's side. A year can make a big difference in someone's career, huge difference. People, when they get in their 30s, 40s, they get old overnight. We've seen it happen. and I'm sure it's going to happen once things get back to normal. You know, when you see guys like Lomachenko and the older generation that's still fighting. I'm sure we're going to see it's going to happen.
Lucas, it's Alex again. You said you've mentioned that. You have an amateur background. How many amateur fights did you have?
I had 97 exactly.
97. And how was the transition over to pro for you? It's fast paced in the amateurs. We always talk about that transition. You've been pretty active back to back. How was the transition for you?
You know, it was a good transition. It was an easy transition. I know that like the last 2 years of my amateur career, I was really focusing on that pro style and landing big shots on guys. And the last couple of years of my amateur career, I was knocking guys out badly, nationally, internationally, and so when I transferred into the pros, it worked in my favor, of course, right? Because I've always been working on it. My fights as a pro haven't been past the second round. So I'd like to get some rounds in eventually. But when you got punching power, I still got to climb the ranks. I got to earn my opportunity to fight the better guys anyway. But it's going to come where someone's going to take me rounds and give me that experience, and I'm actually excited for it.
That's exactly what I was interested in knowing, because once you get to the pros, it's more of a chess game, and you're a heavy thrower. I've taken a look at some of the highlights from your amateur fights. You throw heavy shots coming forward, and it's 12 rounds for a championship fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you develop that power and stamina in the pro rankings. Ness?
So, Lucas, I'm going to go to some questions from the people.
Yo, real quick, before you do that, because I know we're going to peace out with them after that. Lucas, let me run one thing by you, okay? Because we had you on the show not that long ago. All right, let me play your publicist for just a second. I know that the nickname is Prince. It's not bad. It's a pretty good one. But what about this? Lucas Body Bag. I know it doesn't have that same longevity ring, but yo, that's pretty dope, right?
I love it. People have been calling me that as well.
Oh, that's what's up. I
got a couple guys calling me that, Body Bags. I love it. I think it's funny, but
9 wins, 9 KOs, bro. You're starting to earn that.
Yeah, my one buddy actually says every time we fight, the body count goes up.
Yeah,
that's
Listen,
right.
That's the best way to market yourself, man. If you can inflict damage, it sells. We got a question from the UK. George Foster says, which active boxer do you admire the most?
I'm a big Crawford fan. I love his mentality. I love his style. I love his composure. He's amazing in there. Even when he gets hit with big shots, he doesn't get too excited. He stays composed. He's got great power. His timing and his distance is just impeccable. I really love Terrence Crawford.
Body, won't you get a room already, all right? Nah, I'm joking with you. I'm joking.
He's a Spence guy, so.
Yo, Intrigue in Atlanta says, when the smoke clears, which one of these young, hungry lions will have the most prestigious career? Brandon Lee, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, or Tank Davis?
Holy smokes, that's a lot of fighters. Well, I'm gonna knock out. I'm gonna take Tank Davis right out of there because I just see him as another Adrian Broner.
Shots fired.
Being said though, so.
You know what? That's an amazing question. You named a lot of great fighters there. Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. You know what? I think Haney's going to do really well at the 140 division. I see him more as a technician. He's a very smart fighter, and I see that. I see a lot of things that he does and likes to set up, and I think he's up there. Who else was on that list? Can you say it one more time?
Shakur Stevenson, Brandon Lee, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis.
Okay. I haven't seen much of Brandon Lee. Shakur Stevenson, he's obviously an incredible boxer. But I see him getting beat eventually. You know, he's not a big puncher. He's an amazing technician. But he, in my opinion, when I watch him, he gets predictable. He does a lot of the same things and a lot of the same patterns round after round. But out of those fighters there, it's either Teofimo Lopez or Devin Haney.
All right. JT in New Orleans says, if Earl Spence were to move up to 160, could he be a good fighter or an elite fighter?
I see him just being a good fighter. You know, I don't like when these fighters jump all these weight classes. You know, if you look at a guy like Sugar Shane Mosley, one of the best lightweights to walk on the planet. When he moved up to welterweight, what happened to him? You know, like there's weight classes for a reason. You know, size 10 pounds is huge in this sport. People don't realize it, but it is. I don't see him being a great fighter at 160. I really don't. You know, even though he's a big 47, I don't see it. You know, his part of his style, you know, he's a face first pressure fighter. At 160, you know, you go face first against a guy like Canelo, you're gonna hit the canvas. There's no doubt about it. So I see him being a good fighter, but definitely not a great fighter.
All right. We got Carlito in the UK says, what's good, Lucas? With Phil as your manager, I'm sure he's got you some top sparring. Which top boxers have you sparred to make you believe you can beat a great like Lomachenko?
You know what? Like, as far as sparring with names, some of the best sparring partners people have never heard of and they never will hear of them, right? Like, if you look at guys that Mayweather's fought throughout his career, he never sparred big names all the time. You know, there's these gym rats that are just amazing in sparring. They're amazing in the gym. They just can't fight, you know, under the lights. As far as world-class, like, fighters that I've sparred, I sparred some top 10 guys. I sparred Emmanuel Tago. He's top 10 on BoxRec at lightweight. You know, guys like that I have no issue with in the ring. In 12-round fight with little gloves, you know, it's always a different story. Sparring is one thing, fighting is another. But you know, like I said, you could get world-class sparring from guys that have no name and you'll never hear of.
All right. Sonny Woods says, good morning. You say Loma's hittable, yet discounting his lone defeat, he's been assailing in boxing. I think any fighter can lose on any given night. You have the appearance of a Deontay Wilder in regards to your record. We've seen a puncher struggle with the boxer. I root for your success. Question. I can see you have power, but do you work on your finesse skill game as well?
100%. I mean, placement is everything, right? You could be the biggest power puncher in the world, but if you can't land the shot, you're not going to put them out. It's all about timing and placement, right? But a guy like Lomachenko, you don't start off by hitting his head. You know, he's next to impossible to hit in the head for 5-6 rounds. I'm gonna break his body, and then eventually the head will be there for me. He'll stiffen up, He'll be on his back foot, and that's when you get him. It's a process that it's tough to do it while you're in there because it takes a ton of discipline, especially when a guy's dancing circles around you and pitter-pattering you and hitting you in every spot on your body, on your head. But it takes a guy that's going to be disciplined, a guy that's going to listen to his corner and follow the game plan for 12 rounds, not the first 3 rounds, the full 12 rounds.
All right. We got some more for you. We got Ruin 504 New Orleans says, what makes Lomachenko so hittable?
Well, what kind of question is that? We've seen him on his eye, right? I mean, everybody's hittable.
All right, next one from Big Casual. Out of all the sanctioning bodies, which one do you feel will get your title shot first?
Good question.
That's a good question because I know Phil's been talking to a lot of the sanctioning bodies for my next fight that was supposed to happen in May, but obviously it's not happening anymore. So I know he's still talking to them all, actually, WBA, WBC, and WBO. We haven't been in the talks with the IBF yet, but those 3 years are the ones we're looking at. I don't know which way he's gonna steer, but it's totally up to him. He's the man in charge right now of my career. So whatever he does, I'll be supporting it, and I think one of those 3 will be it for sure.
All right, we got Trey, who says, good luck on your career. So no question, just a shout out. We got Israel, same thing, says, thanks for coming on the Boxing Voice. What's your ideal venue when you fight stateside? Hit me up when you come through Oklahoma, lunch on me.
Oh, man, that's amazing. I appreciate that, brother. As far as a preference of where, I mean, wherever the biggest stadium is. I'm a big crowd pleaser. I love the people. I love the fans. So to me, it's not a big preference thing. I've been to Vegas. I've been to New York. I haven't been to Cali yet to a show, but I'd like to in the future. I like Vegas, right? Just because when you hear, like in Canada at least, when you hear about the big fights, it's always Vegas. Everyone's always asking, when are you going to Vegas? When are you going to fight in Vegas? So I think Vegas is going to be where it's at.
All right, we got Scott, the Christian fight fan, says, what tools do you have in your belt that you can use to dethrone Lomachenko?
What tools do I have under my belt? Well, I got speed, timing, power, and I got boxing IQ.
All right, last one is from J Mack in the New Orleans. Says Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence. Who you got and why? Break it down for us, please.
Well, as you guys heard earlier, I'm a big Crawford fan, so I think Crawford's going to win that fight. His distance is just on point, and I think that's going to be the deciding factor in that fight. His distance, and he's also got the reach on him too. So, I mean, he's a guy that he could be on his back foot and box on the outside, or he could be coming forward and putting the heat on you. But just the way his variety of punches, the way he hits the body, the way he comes upstairs with they're like hybrid hooks, hybrid uppercuts. He's got so many different angles with all his punches that, he's not gonna miss a guy like Earl Spence. Earl Spence he's hittable 100%. He gets hit a lot. And you don't want to be getting hit with a guy like Crawford. We've got power in both hands. So I don't see Crawford losing that fight. He's he's got an amazing chin. Both fighters got amazing chins. So, I just hope it doesn't come to the fact where someone gets cut and the fight gets decided on a cut or accidental headbutt or something like that. Because they're two amazing fighters, and I'd love to watch that fight.
Well, Lucas, man, just want to thank you once again for your time. We're going to keep getting you on, brother. Hopefully COVID is over in the next 30 to 60 days, and we can get something to announce to our listeners, obviously about you. But please give out your social media for anyone who isn't following you. And once again, man, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, man, thank you guys so much. You guys can follow me at Prince Body. That's Prince BAHDI. That's in my social media for all my accounts. I really appreciate you guys having me. I'm looking forward to the next time. You guys have a great day and stay safe.
All right, Lucas, thank you so much. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Lucas Body, Prince Body. So
confident as a motherfucker, this kid.
Very confident, but that's what you need,
9
right?
KOs and 9 fights will do it for you.
Look how far Wilder went off confidence, and you got to understand this undefeated thing is hot right now. Look at all the hype that Joseph Adorno was getting or is getting. Right, he's still undefeated. He just suffered a draw his last fight, but he's 13-0, 13 KOs, or 11-0, 11 KOs, and then you got Edgar Berlanga, another one, 13-0, 13 KOs. You got Lovejoy, 19-0, 19 KOs. Now you got Body, 9-0, 9 KOs. So, listen,
and
that's
we can add him to my weight class
of
one for sure. We can add him, I think, to my 135 just to spice it up a little bit. Even though Doomy asked him, and he said that wherever the big fight is, he'll take it at that weight. But he's fluctuated a lot. You know what I mean? He's fought at a bunch of different weights. So, we'll just add him to my 135 just to give me a little more depth there.
I mean, there's no depth in that 35-pound division, though. Like, if we're going back to the script, if we're going back to the debate of the show, I could see maybe like third runner-up for lightweight. Like, for me, it's always going to be heavyweight, welterweight, and in this landscape, it's almost arguable. Now, it's got to be 35. I was going to say it's almost arguable with 140, but even
Not
though
154, you don't like 154 as much?
I do, but they can't draw flies the shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like the star power and the interest is at welterweight, 135, and heavyweight.
I feel you. It's just, man, those names though. Like, we've seen Tony Harrison get it in. Eris Lindy Lara has been there for such a long time. So is J Rock.
But there's
Rosario's a new star. But you're right. This is the easiest
way to pick the division, right? You say, oh, that's the best division. How many pay-per-views in that division?
0.
How many fights are you willing to pay for in that division?
Regular pay-per-view now, 0.
But
remember back in the day when they used to give us Juan Ma and Baby Bull for like $25? You know what I'm saying? They used to give us that Julio Cesar Chavez.
Those days are gone, brother. Gas,
those days are way gone.
Gas used to be $1.25 too. You know what I mean? Like, those days are gone.
Before it was 99 cents.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, that's actually the best way of putting it. If there's no pay-per-views, how could you be a dope division? There's nothing there. Like, and it's not about, pay-per-view nest, you brainwash. No. It's what's pay-per-view worthy. We ain't got to pay for it, but what is pay-per-view worthy? And like, Jason Rosario versus who? Like, Charlo, that's pay-per-view worthy? Why? Because it's all the belts? Man, get out of here. Nah. No storyline. There's nothing there for the fans to follow.
What dictates that position?
Bro, a little bit of everything.
Have we come to a point where it's not about the fighting? It's about social media.
What?
And all the others.
Oh my God, I'm about to relocate. No, I just got that message from Supermax, and he's a mastermind. He like, gas 140 here right now.
Oh yeah, well you know, gas prices went down. We have a ton of petroleum now.
My man, but 140? I don't got no 140.
Texas has way more oil than us probably.
Sheesh.
Yeah, petroleum is down. The
Damn,
oil's
you
down.
yo,
We're
he
at a
cut.
dollar. We're at $1.60 in Corpus.
What?
Jesus, that's fucking
Yo, the
fly,
cost
bro.
of living for y'all is. I gotta get out of this stupid tri-state area, man.
It's down south, shit, bro.
Jesus
Down
Christ.
We got a bunch of because you remember the other day, Ness, when you were talking about the options they gave you in high school, and we're talking about how bullshit it was. But truck drivers, one of them. See, for us, one of those options out of high school is always been the oil field. Getting into the refineries is it's one of the biggest draws here right after high school. If you don't go to college or you don't go to the military, man, you try to get on there as quick as you can. Yeah, or the base, but really the refineries, man, you get paid.
Bro,
So,
with the cost of living that low, and listen, I had an uncle who bought a beautiful home in Frisco, Texas, and it was crazy cheap out there, and that was suburbia. So I could imagine, dog, like if you got gas that low, y'all living well in Texas, man. I wish. I'm telling you, I wish. My taxes out here retarded. I'm ready to sell. I'm ready to sell and go, but you know how that goes.
So speaking of selling, were you buying this? I can jump right straight into a fight with Loma. Like, I like the confidence, man. But what I'm looking at a few fights. I mean, there's nothing that in these fights that he's had up to date that tells me, that he's ready. Obviously, he's knocked guys out, but like the opponents are not giving me what I want to see yet. So
Quality, yeah.
I mean, but it's always gonna be that way.
Yeah, true. You know what? I can't even blame him for even having the confidence.
Everybody is gonna get questioned, especially from me, until they get that test. You need that test. You know what I mean?
I'll put it this way. I'll say that. Do I believe him? Do I buy it out of his mouth? Absolutely. Do I think that any one of his handlers with a brain is going to allow that to happen in the next few fights? Nah, they got his back. He's a marketable kid. So
there's no money in that fight for him or for Loma yet. He doesn't have a big enough name. He's got to keep doing what he's doing, though. Listen, that post, that quote, that's picking up traction. That'll get his name in circulation, and that's what it's all about. There's so many fighters that don't know what it's all about and how to get it done. You know what I mean? And at least he knows what he's doing. But back to the topic at hand. We're talking best division in boxing. Let me go ahead and get to the next question. Right? We were stuck on what's the best division. We said ours. Just to reiterate, me and Alex are saying heavyweight, and Mario is saying 135.
Peso pesado. Champ.
So they also touched on what recently retired fighter is most likely to come back. So I'm gonna say Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is the most likely recently retired fighter that'll come back. Floyd always has an option. Floyd always has an offer. Floyd, I know, has suffered some very tragic personal issues over the last 14 days. Lost 2 loved ones, and obviously his daughter was arrested for, a very serious stabbing. But he was also in the gym a day ago. And, well, actually 2 days in a row. 2 days ago, he was in the gym and he was training with him and his son. And he was showing his son how to throw the jab and the right hand. And then 1 day ago at 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, he was in the gym again. And he was working out. Obviously, he only let us see his shadow boxing and warming up, but he was working out. And I'm optimistic. I only want what's best for the sport. And obviously, Floyd, with his name, is going to bring eyeballs. It'll get the undercard some attention. That's what's best for the sport. I know there's a lot of, boo-hoos and Powerpuff Girls out there that want to, leave Floyd alone. He's retired. He ain't going to fight none of these young boys. Dog, I'm using them for advertising. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Beyonce does. Beyonce does that shit
Floyd
when she does
back,
a
back,
Pepsi commercial.
Floyd comes back.
It doesn't matter. Floyd comes back and fights. It's
Manny
good
Pacquiao.
for boxing.
Yeah, but what do you think brings him back though? Like, what's that fight that's what I want to know.
I mean, Manny Pacquiao could bring him back.
Okay.
Manny Pacquiao could bring him back. Ryan Garcia can get big enough to bring him back.
Yo,
You know?
Yo, are we really
Y'all
speaking
remember
about
when
Mayweather
Merchant-
being a grandfather fighting, man? Come on,
Yo,
man.
Remember when
it's
Merchant called Pacquiao De La Hoya, and it ended up happening.
Listen,
maybe
it's
Ness is gonna put us on something.
It's an easy fight for Floyd, but the youth will be on the side of Ryan. You know, they
Preaching. That
they
shit
could
ain't happening.
they could make a move up.
Oh, that press
Dude,
conference
he's got a
would
big
be
following, bro.
nuts.
He's got a big following.
Ain't no way in hell Golden Boy gonna put their fucking star fighter in that. I mean, look,
bro, you're not thinking about it because Golden Boy already put their star fighter when he was young and inexperienced in the ring with Floyd. So why won't they do it again? They know what it did for Canelo.
Can I say something?
And before you say something, I'm gonna give you a proper introduction with your intro and everything. But I want everybody to remember, if you're offered a legend, you don't turn it down. You don't worry about losses on records. You don't worry
Losing
about
doesn't
money.
hurt
You don't worry
the way it
about
does
nothing.
other
You
sports.
take the legend because legends come around once in a while, and to get them on your resume, that why you think Crawford wants Pacquiao, Earl wants Pacquiao, and Danny, because that name on the resume means a fucking probably 2 more zeros on their paycheck. But without further ado,
there's no way De La Hoya's gonna fucking risk that, man. It's just too much pride in that, and to throw Ryan Garcia in there with a Floyd Mayweather,
he couldn't wait for Cash to get his intro.
Years from now, are
Let's
you
say
talking
Garcia
about Grandpa Mayweather?
Yo, I got him so vexed. He couldn't wait for you to get your intro, Cash.
Go ahead.
What's up, man? Yeah, I just want to say I saw fight too.
Stay focused, stay working my jab, use my fundamentals. Like boxing voice.
Because if he comes to fight, then I'm gonna have to look for him.
I saw the fight too.
I think you accurate.
Damn, I couldn't stop. But first of all, good morning. Yes, and another yes in the morning with TBV podcast. I am Enrique Church, and damn, that's a hot topic, right? What fighter is likely, what retired fighter is likely to return to boxing? And I didn't even think of Mayweather, but you only can say Mayweather, right? Because who else has options? I mean, maybe Andre Ward will come in and fight Canelo, right? But I don't know what that means. So you mentioned Ryan Garcia. The first thought that came to me was Teshin Nasukawa from Japan.
Oh, in that one fight.
Yo, you wildin', bro. You calling Ryan Tension?
That's trying to have Ryan crying in the corner.
Yo, you calling Ryan Tension?
Oh, he called Ryan Teshin.
Oh,
Let me
man.
finish my thought. No way to compare it, but it could look that way, just by like off top. But if you offered a legend, right? Not if
you got to be the legend to become a legend.
Right. Yeah. Well, you think of the Canelo for Mayweather too young, right?
And it was okay for him. It worked out damn good.
It worked out. Let's say that.
Golden Boy.
Yo, you got to talk into the mic. We ain't hear none of that cutout shit.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sounded like the Muffin Babies.
Damn, I was right in the microphone.
No, now you are. You and Doomy think because your face is in the vicinity of the microphone. No, your mouth has to be directly in front of the microphone, especially these. These are only in the front, right here.
Yeah. So it will behoove Golden Boy to not to make that fight,
exactly.
To make Ryan that star.
Exactly.
So Cash,
first of all, Floyd would be so old. Ryan would have speed, reach. He would have Renault. I mean, it could be sold so easily now. Now, obviously, Ryan is not the star that is Pacquiao, but it is
Imagine
just.
if he beat Tank first, though.
It is just but that's too. You can't risk that if you Golden Boy because it's not worth losing a Tank. It's worth losing to Floyd. But my thing is. The way that nobody really knew Gennady, right? Like, I know it's unfair to me to say that, but he had 2 unsuccessful pay-per-views. He had 2 of them at 170 a pop. And then he got in there with Canelo and they did 1 point something. That's what I feel about Ryan. Like, people gonna call him like, Ness, you crazy, this kid's too young. Don't nobody even know him. You right. But I believe in the social media follow, and I believe in that 5.6 million followers, and I believe that key element of Mayweather, it's gonna cause a combustion in the media, And it's like, oh my God, he's coming back to fight this guy. Then the media's gonna pick it up because he's such a handsome kid. And in the age difference, there's so much to sell there. Oh my God, Floyd's coming back to fight this young, hungry kid. You're gonna have your Stephen A. Smith saying, "Oh, this is bullshit. He's bringing him up. This guy's not even Marquez when he brought Marquez up." Cool, but there's youth versus the age. I mean, the youth versus the old man, right?
Yeah.
You have so many elements. You got Reynoso, who's Canelo's trainer. They failed before. He gets a second opportunity. That's a secondary storyline. You sit Reynoso now, and he gets to tell you, like, yeah, I wish I could have had this opportunity with Canelo back then. I've been dealing with Ryan. I know that, he can lie. He can lie. Look, it's all about selling. It's all about selling. But maybe I'm wrong. I just came way out of left field. Nobody would ever thought of it. Everybody wants Crawford or Earl.
I think you're reaching, but I mean, it's a good fantasy to have.
Well, it's a good reach for the show. It's a good reach for the show and giving us, some firepower. But even though Cash kind of spoiled it a little bit, I would go with Andre Ward. And Cash said it right. It might not be the most likely of things, but here's where I'm coming from. Andre Ward, in my opinion, deserves a Canelo fight. Andre Ward is one guy who man, I feel like he's not gonna go down as the fighter that he should go down as. That to me, what I think of when I think of Andre Ward, I feel like the general public, and I'm talking about casual fans.
But he seems like he's not trying to even fight.
You're absolutely right, and that's probably the biggest hinder to that. In not making it most likely. But that Canelo fight with Andre Ward.
At what, light heavy?
I think light heavy. I think probably they do like a catch weight though, somewhere between 168, 175, just based off of the A-side shit that we've seen over the years. But I really don't think that Canelo would give him any issues with the weight. I think that he would come in and he would try to make that fight. And at the end of the day, fuck Canelo. I mean, I don't mean fuck Canelo, but I mean in this situation with this fight, fuck Canelo. Andre Ward deserves that fight. He deserves that check. And we deserve, as an American public who love boxing, to see him on that stage. And yes, he's been on a big stage and he's been on that grand stage, but he never had that Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather, Canelo type. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking he comes back as a heavyweight.
That would be.
Hear me out on this. I think that because he always wanted to finish off as a heavyweight. He wanted a heavyweight fight. There was even like talks and trolling about him fighting AJ and all this other stuff. And the way I see it, if this comeback were to come, it'd be good to come back as a heavyweight. I mean, obviously he's walking around a little heavier than he does. They always tell you got to acclimate to that weight, especially when you're moving up because you're carrying weight. You got to get used to how your body starts burning energy. So, if he's been out now for a while and he's been walking around heavy, maybe exercising, I could see that coming back against a heavyweight, man. That would be fucking epic.
What do you think he would pick? A heavyweight, like a big name heavyweight, or Canelo? Like, what would be the better financial option for him?
I mean, that's easy. Wouldn't it be Canelo?
Yeah. You left that one real easy.
Well, the only reason why I asked that question, and really I asked it wrong. What I meant to say is, what is there more money competing at heavyweight, for X amount of fights, or taking that one big shot against Canelo and then calling it? You know what I mean? Because he could get more money than Canelo if he fought the top heavyweights back to back.
Who's his dance partner though? Like I know I said it, Andre Ward coming back as a heavyweight, but you're right. Who's his dance partner?
Usyk would be a good fight. It's not the money fight, but I think that the size advantage kind of goes away, or disadvantage I should say, goes away a little bit. You know what I mean? But and they're both incredibly talented fighters with high level. Oh man, I want to see that fight now. Damn, I wish you wouldn't have said that. Now I'm just gonna be thinking about that fucking fight.
Yeah, no, and you pointed out the perfect dance partner, Usyk. He's a smaller guy coming up to the heavyweights, known as the smaller guy. So
I read the article too, right? So what's the best division in boxing? Mm-hmm. And off the bat, I'm like, with Stephen Kim is like junior middleweight. It kind of got boring for me until Dan Rafael mentioned the obvious when he mentioned all the welterweights, like the 147 pounder, started name dropping. I was like, yeah, that's the most exciting division for me. And it's the best at that. Of course,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are exciting fights in other divisions, like Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez, and Gavante versus who's his nemesis right now besides
Brian
Ryan?
Garcia.
I guess
Nah,
it ain't
besides-
exciting.
Haney.
I guess it ain't
Huh?
exciting if you
Devin
don't
Haney.
know it off the top of your head. I guess it ain't exciting.
Yeah, it ain't as exciting to me. You know what I'm saying? When they name drop, it's like naming 5 best rappers when they go into welterweight for me on the East Coast. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
but that's
yeah,
what I'm
hell
saying.
yeah.
Those 5 best rappers are like R&B and rappers. Like they not top 5. Like the heavyweight division is that division. But this ain't a
top 5.
debate. Yeah, this ain't a debate. You entitled to your opinion, and my pick and opinion was the heavy. Yours is welter. There's nothing wrong with that.
Because
Every
Yeah,
name,
why?
every na-
Why,
'cause-
Enrique? Why is it so?
Because
official?
every name is popping. There's more names in the heavyweight than there is in the welterweight. You gonna stop
popping,
saying
though? That's popping?
Absolutely. You gonna stop saying names that's popping before I do.
all right,
I don't know
1,
about
2,
that.
3, go.
name for name.
Go name for name then.
Name for
name.
name.
Go.
I could just say off the bat, Terrence Crawford.
Off the
Of
bat.
course.
All right, you gonna say Terrence, so that's a 1 belt champion. I'ma say all right, he's considered pound for pound. I'ma say Fury to match him.
Okay, then I'm gonna hit you with Errol Spence Jr.
Then I'ma
Boom.
hit
Verbal slap competition.
then I'ma hit you with AJ, who's done more than Earl. Cause he's
And then-
2-time.
All right, and then I could easily just be like, all right, if you want to say who done more than
Slap
Errol,
that domino down.
I'm gonna
Say
hit
it.
you with the Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao.
Boom.
Okay.
Dominoes, bitch.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao. I'ma still hit you with Wilder.
And
Keep
then I
going.
could just come back with Mikey Garcia, 1 loss.
Oh, you going to Garcia? Well then I'll do Luis Ortiz.
Oh, okay, then I'll throw Danny Garcia. Keep it with the Garcia.
Okay, so then I'll go Dillian White.
Okay, so I'll do Keith Thurman 1 time.
All right, so I'm gonna do Big Baby.
Oh, nobody don't really know him, but they do know Virgil Ortiz Jr. right now. Boom, rank number 2.
Okay, Ortiz, so I'm gonna do Dubois.
Okay, Regis Progress. Ooh.
Nah, that ain't 47. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna give you Prograde because I think double check. I think it was a catchweight or is it full 47? Him and Hooker was gonna fight.
It was definitely above 140 for sure.
I think he's ranked in the welterweight because I looked him up not too long ago.
Yeah, he hasn't had a welterweight fight, but I'm still give him.
scheduled
I'm gonna let you get that, and I'll say Charles Martin, former world champ. And on the
Charles
comeback.
Martin.
And on the comeback. Yeah, Regis Prograde got a loss, and he's a former world champ. Charles Martin got a loss, he's a former world champ.
Sean Porter. Ooh.
Damn. It's been this long and he hasn't said Sean Porter?
Yeah.
You lost, Ness. It's over, bro.
That's worth more than any name he brings up next.
It's
What?
done.
What?
It's over.
Wild card in my hand that will kill and is more valuable.
Bruh.
You got that plus 4.
Yo, you said
that
Sean
plus
Porter.
4.
I still ain't even say Alexander Usyk.
Ooh.
Oh, you want
undisputed?
Yo, you go foreign and unknown. I'm gonna give you foreign and well known. Amir Khan. Boom.
Bro.
You know you're gonna get Mario vote on
Hey
it.
yo, Amir Khan. Oh my God, dude.
He's fading, Ness. He's fading. Hit him with the uppercut.
No, if he's gonna say Amir Khan, I'm gonna just keep it good and say Joseph Parker, former world champ.
Oh, okay. So let me dig deep.
Why? What you mean, dig?
Yo,
You
I'm
getting
gonna throw in
slow.
the name. I'm gonna throw in the name that was in that article who lost or who defeated Lamar Peterson, Sergey Lipinets.
That name suck, man. I mean, it don't suck. No, it don't suck. It don't suck. It don't suck.
Next to Joseph Parker.
It don't suck, but it just don't ring bells like Sunday at 12 o'clock. But I'm gonna throw in Adam Kovnacki off a loss. He still got plenty of fights to bring in the division, especially exciting ones.
Can't believe he lost.
I mean, I could then I ran out of cards.
Yeah, I think we're good here. I think
It's
we made the
over. That's
point.
it.
I think welterweight won.
Bro, and it's like I said earlier, we still ain't bring up all the names. Like there's still Joe Joyce. There's still
Andrade,
Efe, Dubois, Brazil.
You mentioned earlier.
Hergovich.
Yes, Herkovich. That's
Yoka. Yo, still so many names, bro. Like I said, I still want to see Zilly Zhang bang. Somebody gonna have to beat him. I want to see. You know,
Well, all I know
Junior
is that
Fa, man. Y'all ain't see Junior Fa yet. He all right, man. He all right. I'm telling you, some fighters out there. Like, I get it. Maybe those names don't ring, but I see the potential in this division. This division got the talent to keep us busy for the next 4 or 5 years, bro.
It
Frank
definitely
Sanchez
got the potential.
Frank
for sure.
Sanchez, he rocking with Reynoso now. I'm interested. You know what I mean? Like, it got names.
I'm interested in what Doomy's bringing back to the squared circle, because Doomy ain't said who's coming out of retirement yet.
Yeah, I was you guys mentioned I was looking at a couple of the fighters that you were looking at, but I can't call it. Yeah, I can't call it, man, because we got
more questions. If you don't got an answer, we can definitely move.
Yeah. Well, we went through my options, obviously, because I was gonna pick Andre Ward, but going to heavy, so I just added on to what Mario's.
Oh, that's
saying.
right. Yeah, you did. I'm sorry.
But I'll tell you right now, like even Andre coming back, I just don't know who would really come back and risk, because a lot of times these guys leave on a good note, and I can't. And usually if you leave on a good note, you feel like you could come back. And anybody that's left on a bad note, why would you come back, or who would want you to come back? So I'm a little conflicted on that. And Mario basically took that name at a Canelo fight.
No, but I like the way you added to the heavyweight division.
Yeah, I was saying heavyweight division, and I just remembered that Andre always spoke about that jokingly, maybe, and maybe he was serious about it. So yeah, that was my pick.
Yeah, that AJ talk was definitely hype. But
and
you know what?
Because after Ruiz beat him, like, I thought about that. I mean, I thought about that because I always had that in mind. I was like, damn, Andre beats a fucking heavyweight, like that's fucking awesome.
No, I'm glad you had brought that up too, because I had kind of forgot. But one thing, I'm gonna throw a little curveball in here because I know what the question was, but the way I had kind of interpreted it at first was like, what fighter would you want to bring back if they could be in their prime to like fight somebody now, and it just hit me. I was like, bro, you know what fight I would have loved to see, honestly, at middleweight? Roy Jones and Canelo. I don't know what it is about that fight that makes me feel like it would just be like, I think the unexpected would probably happen in that fight. And I can't even call what the unexpected would be, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine Canelo getting knocked? Yes.
Yeah, I think the speed would be the biggest difference. I think Canelo would be taking some hard shots in an imaginary, fantasy fight. Yo, yeah, that's fucking.
Roy Jones would start that shoulder roll, bro.
Nah, he was just explosive and fast.
Pop. Yeah,
and he had movement. And if you're gonna say coming back to this Canelo, like this developed Canelo, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows, bro? Who knows? But yeah, that was one fight I would like to see. But we can move on to the next question.
Next topic. What's the one fight nobody is talking about? One fight nobody is talking about that you would like to see to restart boxing. So as soon as we come back, the fight you want to see that ain't nobody talking about. Go, casual.
Yo, instantly, Danny Garcia, Thurman 2. Just because I just read an article and Thurman was talking real cocky, how he knows every move that Danny Garcia will make. He'll be lazy with the jab and rely on the hook and the power punch, and that's it. And he will shame him in the ring. So I was like, oh yeah, let's see that. That'll be an exciting fight to come right back to it.
Shit that nobody's talking about. Shit. I was ready to jump in with Teofimo Loma, but like everybody's talking about that. Right. Damn, Mario, I'm gonna pass you the baton for 2 seconds. Let me think about this one.
All right, I'll take 20 seconds because my answer is so basic, bitch, and I don't even really like even saying it because I feel like I'm swagger jacking here. Because I don't remember if it was Kim or Rafael that said it, but they put it in as David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. I love that fight.
That was Rafael.
Love that fight.
Yeah. I read that.
That is something that is like, yo, let's do it now, this second. At the same time, I understand marination. I understand both these guys have the ability to become bigger stars, especially David Benavidez. That said, that fight is awesome. I hope I gave you enough time there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Alexander Usyk and Filip Hrgovic.
Nice.
I think
I would like that.
Yeah, and I'm going with nobody's talking about it. Yeah, I would like to see Usyk against Phillip. I think that fight would just styles make fights. Philip's very aggressive. Alexander, he's a boxer, so I think it'd be a good back and forth. And I think it'd be a test of wills. Who can impose their game plan on the other fighter? Yeah, Philip, he's on the come up, and he's explosive. So you could look to see maybe a knockout. Alexander never been knocked out. So yeah, I'd go with that fight.
Nestor Gibbs, what is that fight for you?
Nah, it's the same fight, man, and no one's talking about. It would be especially to restart boxing, especially keeping everything that my man's been saying, Sean Porter. It's gonna be something that they're not expecting, and it'll restart boxing. It will be right off of this pandemic, so it could easily bring in a lot of attention because it's, again, something that we're not expecting. I think it's outside the box. I think it could be commercial enough, obviously because of Floyd's name, but Floyd's name will activate that social media following that Ryan has. People been saying for a long time, like, oh, that's just a following. We need to stop equating that to actual pay-per-view buys. This is how we put it to the test. Put him in there with someone like Floyd, where we have numerous other past Floyd fights to have as a barometer, and to compare this Ryan fight to it. And again, it's enough. It's outside the box enough. It's crazy enough that, and look, it's Floyd, right? People say, oh, Floyd's a horrible promoter. Floyd, he gets up there and instead of talking about Tank, he talks about himself. What would be more Floyd than taking Tank's fight? You took Tank's fight. This is Tank's fight. You won it. All good. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. It's a very, very good point.
I'm going with that.
Supermex said Benavidez Zurdo, which is a good fight too. I like that a lot. Benavidez is in a weird situation where he could get picked a lot because he had that momentum going, and now it's like this thing kind of derails the momentum, but I obviously think he'll pick it right back up. One question actually we skipped over that I definitely want to answer, or I want to hear everybody's answers. Who is the most underrated fighter in boxing that's currently active fighting?
How do we choose underrating?
I'm
like he's not being pushed. Is he?
I would say it's like a combination of it. It's like not being pushed, not getting the just due. Always in exciting fights, but never like the marquee name that you think of. Like it's not that
That's
Spence
easy.
or Crawford guy.
I'm gonna put it like this though. I think differently. I think underrated means he's not getting as much respect from the audience.
Yeah, I'm saying like he's not being pushed in the media. He ain't getting that recognition. I'm gonna go to the lower weight classes for this one. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, right? But like Chocolatito, Chocolatito now, but we always find that the lower weight class don't get that lens as much as the higher weight classes. So even though he's known as the monster, I don't see him being pushed out here in America as much. Probably he would be pushed out in Japan. But yeah, and I screw his name up all the time. Naoya Inoue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get to hear too much about him out here in the States as far as him being like,
I heard about him.
Yeah, you hear about him. I'm talking about pushed.
I think underrated is more like how people feel about the guy. You know what I'm saying? They don't push him because of the rate that people have. If there's more attention to him, then he gets more push. That's why Ness keeps pushing Ryan Garcia versus Floyd Mayweather to push him over that hump to the crossover, as we said. So my underrated, but that's a good one because I don't rate him at all. So
And some people have him pound for pound.
I heard fighters name him, but I never if they were like Inoue's fighting Mexicans, whatever weight class he's in, Hectetito, Carleto, Cerrante. I'm be like, okay, I won't watch it. But Caleb Plant to me was underrated. To me, I didn't really get no attention to his very last fight, and I was like, yo, this dude could fight. His back is huge. He knocked people out according to his resume and the fight I just watched. And I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed to say I don't remember who his opponent was, but it was his last fight this year, and he was looking solid. That I was like, he kind of looked like Canelo Alvarez tonight.
So you were sleeping on him.
I was
before
sleeping,
that fight?
and that's what I would take underrated means, that who is being the most slept on.
See, because I would say his coming out party was Uscate, and I would say, and that was back in January 2019. But I get what you're saying too, because one thing that's hurt him was the Canelo talk. For right or for wrong, that's not the point. The point is that he was kind of shitted on for a few weeks, based on those transgressions. So I could rock with you on that one. I'm gonna say Rob Brandt. I know that's probably like a weird pick, but I feel like he's so underrated in what he offers, and Jamel Herring, but for different reasons. But Rob Brandt offers so much. I mean, he's a true like American type of hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really embodies that. Like, I don't even call it like Captain America type shit or nothing like that, but he really is like when I hear like Rob Brandt's fighting, that's what makes me patriotic. Like, Americans can fight. Bro, I don't even think about it as Americans versus Europeans or anything like that. I mean, sometimes maybe, but not really. I mean, it's boxing's international. You got to know these guys on all levels in every continent. What's that?
What weight class is
Rob Brandt, middleweight.
Yeah, middleweight, and he's probably souped up on him because he's from Dallas and shit.
Yeah. And, he's a friend of the show. I'll be honest. He's
Rob
a friend of the show, but Patreon, and he's definitely a good guy. But at the end of the day, all that aside, pretend I've never interviewed him. Pretend he's not a Patreon. He's a fun fighter, and he's a dude who's so marketable. I think he should be more popular than he is, and I think he will end up being popular.
Oh, he was recently on the show.
Yeah, he was recently on the show. Brandt. Also Amir Khan, but that's mostly because of y'all guys.
Amir Khan is underrated. So underrated. Then that push out that gets rid of the who gets the push, who doesn't get a push.
Well, but he's not active,
comes from the people.
Is what I would say.
Underrated comes from the people. I don't think it comes from like the managers and the promoters.
I think it comes from everybody though, because I don't know. I think it's like a full spectrum type thing. You got to look at the overall landscape of it. So you're absolutely right, but I think it comes from all sides. The fans affect the promoter and the managers, and
it does. But I think connected. I think it's more like a personal question, because you have to look at it as like,
oh yeah, definitely it is.
The most underrated boxer in boxing right now is Sean Porter.
That's a good one.
He's always
swag jacking.
You said that?
Nah. Dan Rafael said that.
Yeah, Dan Rafael said that. You know what?
I agreed with it. I just didn't want to use it.
A lot of us would agree with it.
Yeah, I didn't even read it to know. So I've always said Sean Porter because he's always the B side, never the A side. Doesn't matter what happens, he's always the B side, never the A side.
I think after this Earl Spence fight though, I think his underratedness kind of went out the window. I think they gave him a lot of respect.
He still doesn't have options. He can't get the
crawl. He can't get the. It's got to be proven.
He still doesn't have options, in my opinion. He can't get the Pacquiao fight. He's got to be picked for Pacquiao. He's got to be picked for Crawford. He's got to be picked for Earl. He don't even got. He can't even pick Danny. And Danny,
not because he's underrated. If anything, it's because he's overrated. They know what they're getting into when they got a Sean Porter fight. I think his trouble has always been just that he's that much of a tough fight that people just kind of steer away from him being a top 3 option.
And Doomy didn't mean overrated. You meant like rated properly, right?
Yeah,
like people know how tough of a fight he is.
Yeah, quote unquote. It's just a pun on there. But yeah,
no, for sure.
They definitely look at him like, shit, this is a tough fight. Everything has to be perfect to fight this guy on my end in order for me to win this fight. So, but yeah, underrated for a while. Not a bad pick.
I like what Kim said.
I'll go with Luis Ortiz then, if you're saying I'm swagger jacking. I think Luis Ortiz is another underrated fighter. People don't want to give him credit or give him a shot.
They don't want to give him chance with the public because the public already aged him out of it. That's how I see it. Because as soon as you
But
mention,
there's other 40-year-old heavyweights that get more opportunities.
I know, but they don't have that stigma or that monkey on their back, that horse that everybody's like. As soon as you mention Luis Ortiz, they're like, oh, he's washed up and old immediately.
I ain't
know?
never
Oh,
heard
he got high blood
bullshit.
pressure. You know,
which is bullshit.
I don't be hearing people call him washed up. I hear them call old. We got a super chat real quick from Tracy Sims. It says facts, Ness. Pacquiao Porter needs to happen out the gate.
Well, the reason why Pac ain't picking Porter out the gate, which would still be a great fight, is what Steve Kim said. He said Porter is not the most stylish or elegant boxer. So some people don't want that work like that. They want that clean work, you know. And Pacquiao seems like he's at the age where he wants to pick something cleaner. Not saying that he's dirty in the sense of unfair, but the wild style fighting that Porter presents.
Mikey Garcia, what? Yeah, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think he's just such a tough fight, and it's sad because he is underrated. I mean, honestly, I think of everybody that we said other than Amir Khan, Sean Porter is definitely wins. I think that answer wins because he's a guy who always makes tough fights. He's a guy who's so well spoken. I mean, he's just got all the check marks. So why isn't he an A-side? Why isn't he bigger than he is? I don't know. That's not for me to answer, but he has all those boxes checked. So
Stainless, what up in the chat, champ? What up? Hoping you're feeling better, man. I know you're going through some stuff. You know, shout out to everybody that's affected with this coronavirus, man. Hoping all your loved ones is doing well. That's all the questions per the article. We're going to get in and open up these phone lines. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype if you're a daily Patreon show subscriber.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Real quick, the questions were for the callers. What's the best division in boxing? Who's the most underrated fighter right now, currently fighting? What recently retired fighter or retired fighter that could likely come back will come back? And the final one was, if I'm not mistaken, what's the fight that nobody is talking about that you would love to see restart boxing that would just blow it up? So those are the questions. What fight would restart boxing? Most underrated fighter, best division in boxing, and fighter retired most likely to make a comeback. I know that's kind of a lot, but
wait, and what's the one fight that restarts boxing after COVID-19?
Oh, my bad, I missed that. Yeah, that one too. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Ness.
All right.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
And remember, rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Yes, sir. Let's go on out to... Who's on the line with us? Dead air there. All right, time to go out to Boomerang. I'm sorry. You want to say
No. Yeah, somebody just jumped on, but go ahead. Go ahead to the Boomerang.
You know how these
it's Ohio
bitches
run
is
by
in sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style.
I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him. You want to bet?
You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy.
Let's bet $1 million.
Yo, can you hear me? Good morning.
Good morning.
That sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, hey, shout out to Mario. I mean, I like how Mario been standing 10 toes down on some of his arguments. And even with that smoke coming at his head, he's still responding. Casual, what you calling my name for talking about you here for me? What that mean?
You know why I'm here for you. You enjoy my content, my words, my speech. I energize you. I
Okay. Hey man, I can't even do nothing but laugh at this shit. All right, can you run the questions for me right quick? I think I'm gonna answer the first one. The best division after casual and Ness going back and forth. I was leaning towards heavyweight, but I'm still gonna go with that welterweight division and stuff. And we add junior welterweight to it, it's a done deal. What's the next question?
Most underrated fighter
In boxing right now?
in boxing right now.
Shit. Fuck. I would say Terrence. I guess a lot of people still, no matter what he accomplished, they still feel like he got to prove something. What's the next question?
Man, that's the one I was gonna take too, and I just forgot about it. What? That was it.
Yo, I'm gonna just let them all answer it because it ain't
we'll
no
just
way.
ask
You know,
the questions.
they got, they could do it, but it won't. They would have to have like no outside conversation. So we're
Okay,
just gonna
so
have to
if
let
you
them
want to
go
answer the
longer.
questions, let's do it like this. Answer the first one, which is best division in boxing, and then right after that, if you don't remember the question, just just say next question, and I'll be ready to go.
All right, let's go to Israel Weber.
What's up, Israel Weber, my man?
Hey, what up, guys? How y'all doing this morning?
All right, all right.
Doing well.
I think on the division, I got to go lightweight. Doomy hit on it earlier. He said that they're up and coming, but they're typically making that move to welter. But right now they're young. It's a fun division. Teofimo, you got Tank, obviously Loma. I think that's and then you got the Dazn kids, Ryan and Devin. Underrated fighter. Shoot. I hate to say Gervonta Davis, man. He took a little hit with that Gamboa fight, but still knocked him out. Took him a long time, but he still knocked him out. But that's my call, guys. Join the show.
Wow.
All right.
That's
all
interesting.
Right.
That gives it to Gavante.
Yeah.
I think Gavante is a steamrolling train, and he did take a hit from hardcores against Gamboa because Terrence Crawford co-signed all that.
So underrated, right? I mean, I think he's putting himself in a position where people can start underrating him. I think.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
I feel where Izzy's coming from, because a lot of people are starting to like kind of throw him into that fucking same boat with AB. So it's like we know he's a star, we know he got the power, we know he could fight, but like there's some wrinkles in his game that need to be ironed out.
You hit it right on it. You said he's on that boat with AB.
Shit.
Yeah.
And and they throw him in the boat with AB, but AB still got fights out there that can happen for him. You know what I'm saying?
It's the recklessness.
Yeah. I like a lot of fights that are out there for AB still, bruv. But let's get to Ohio Runs Boxing. Talk to me.
What's up, guys?
What up?
What up? Good morning.
You hear me?
Yeah, you good?
Hey, so my division is 154. Just because there's so many upsets, it's so wide open. I love divisions like that. You get more undisputed fights like that when you don't have that many high-profile guys. That's why you had the undisputed Crawford at 140, Clarissa Shields, Usyk. You get that. Fighter I would like to see come back, Joshua Clottey. I'd like to see him at 154. I would love to see him at that division. Mayweather fighting Broner, bruh. They've both been on a long layoff. That's what's going to happen. Broner and Mayweather is going to make it happen. That's my call, man.
That's a good one.
I wanted to hear Nestor's point of view on that. Like what's the business purpose of that?
Oh, what? Broner Maidana?
No. Oh, did he say Maidana?
He said Broner Mayweather.
Yeah.
I thought that's what he said.
Oh, there's business there.
Yeah.
There's
But
business
it ends.
there.
It's like the train that just stops. It's the last stop for both.
No, it's
I
definitely
wouldn't say that.
Definitely not the last stop for
Yeah,
Mayweather,
it's-
because for Mayweather, it's a barometer fight with Pacquiao. Now people gonna be like, oh my God, he came back and look at what he did to Broner, and this one didn't do that, which is
And
Pacquiao.
Broner's he would be losing to arguably the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah,
We've
he
already
can
seen that
reset
these guys
too.
don't lose anything losing to Mayweather, so they would
I
still
think,
have
I
other
think yo, Mayweather comes back and fights AB. In my head, if you're Mayweather's camp and even thinking about fighting AB, you would have to have like a 2 to 3 fight game plan. Like, okay, I'm fighting AB first, but then I'm fighting so and so.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
then you fight in Packy.
Like,
Right,
yeah,
it
so
has to
say,
be
but in order for me to be even like, I'm not gonna say interested because we're gonna watch it. Who we fucking kidding? But like, for me to say like, damn, this fight is about something more than just another fucking I need
Payday.
some change and shit.
Yeah.
You would have to like tell me like, okay, I'm fighting AB, but I'm gonna fight this guy second. You know what I'm saying?
That's smart. That's a smart ass answer for real. You're right.
Maybe it wouldn't be the last stop for Mayweather, but I think every time Broner gets a lot of money, he goes reckless. And that's why I say it might be the last stop. He might get fat after that fight.
He take it to the bar?
He take it somewhere, to strip club, to Dubai.
Hey, shout out to AB, man. He bought somebody groceries the other day. We talk about all the
I saw
bullshit.
that.
But, AB's a nice guy too, man. Deep down inside, that crazy head of his.
I ain't saying nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, some people they handle money differently. They get a lot of money. They everything out the window, diet, everything, and silk sheets are hard to wake up from. Who said that recently?
Earl Spence recently said it.
Earl Spence said that. So there you go. Silk of the sheets, the sweet of the berry, harder to get out of bed. I think AB is affected by that.
So you gotta sleep on a wool blanket and shit.
All right, real quick. Just want to shout out. We got 133 Patreons on that $15 level or above. So I appreciate you guys appreciating the daily show. I feel like we bring a massive amount of content per month. I actually did the math, and I think it boils down to like 24 cents per episode. So yeah, man, appreciate you guys trying to help us continue to do this on a daily basis, multiple times a day. If you haven't caught our Film Study Tuesday last night, where we rewatched Mayweather Castillo 1, plus a bonus of Mayweather Castillo 2 first round. You know what I'm saying?
I like the way you twisted that.
That was great.
Yeah, we giving our patrons the bonuses, baby.
Yo, shout out
and
to
listen,
Izzy, man. He made the call on that.
Not only that,
McMahon, if he liked wrestling, I promise you.
Not only that, but for those that aren't Patreons, just remember all our Patreons get that exclusive RSS feed. And if you're a patron and you haven't taken advantage of this, you like listening to our podcast in your favorite podcast app, let's say it's iTunes, whatever podcast catcher. On our Patreon's page, we got a specific RSS feed that you could just pop into your app and listen to every single ad-less episode. You know what I mean? Ad-less episode.
Without an ad.
No interruptions at all whatsoever, other than the sponsors before the calls. And it's fantastic. You don't have to do anything. Every episode refreshes itself. You know what I mean? So daily, you just got to go to your app. You know what I mean? So take advantage. Come on over to Patreon and eliminate those ads, man. But if you can't, we understand. You can always call in absolutely free, 14255-695241. And, you can always get your MP3 7 to 10 days later, just with a little bit of ads.
Yo,
and,
also, right, I want to shout out to I'm at $6 right now on my Patreon. $2, $3 Patreon ninjas pledging to me.
What do you got on your Patreon page?
Well, my Patreon page is about, boxing fan apparel. So it's just about design and T-shirts. And I put my content up there of myself under quarantine. I dated, and it looks fun. It's just about me, putting things together. What my daily life is like, locked in the house. as of now. But when I get out in the real world, I'm gonna start pressing shirts more, shipping shirts, and $3 people, 12 months, you get something. $3 people right now for joining. I got a little gift for the first 5 people that I could just hand out to you just because
First
you joined
five.
me.
First 5. You got to emphasize
5.
that.
So Israel, right? Is it Israel or Izzy?
Yeah,
Israel.
Israel Weber, you got a gift coming to you. Is he in the UK?
Nah, he's in Oklahoma.
man.
Oklahoma.
Yo,
Okay.
you know what's crazy?
Come on.
Hey, Israel.
He ready for lunch. He ready for lunch.
Yeah, he's already ready for lunch.
Israel, you gotta go see that 90 Day Fiance we was talking about on Untitled, bro. That dude reminds me of you. Every time I see it now, he reminds you. I seen another episode yesterday. Yeah, no, it's funny though.
See right now, like you crazy, Ness. I'm a Mac.
Nah, yo, what you talking about? This dude obviously is a Mac, bro. He got a fucking
He
got a Colombiana, bro, and she knows perfect English. She's actually very good looking, so I don't know what
you
you're
giving
talking
Izzy ideas, dog. We gonna see Izzy on 90 days.
90 days, nah, that's catch that episode of Untitled also on Patreon. So if you haven't checked that out, do so, and it's MP3 ad free for our patrons. Let me head on out to a long time listener. What's going on, Dennis? Talk to me in Tampa, but probably coming from Maryland area right now. You got relocated, right?
Nah, man. What's up, everybody? God bless us all. Keep us safe and our family safe. That's that's number
First
one.
and foremost.
No, I'm supposed to be going to DC, but that's on lockdown. So after the 27th, I'll still be in Tampa working telework for the VA where I've been working for many, many years. So it's an honor, good to be of service, But bottom line is, check this out. The weight class is the 147 by far. But one of the callers just said the runner-up is for sure 154 because that seems like a weight class that nobody's bullshitting. They're ready to fight. So I hope that Dominican dude that just beat J-Rock wins it all. Just, I'm Puerto Rican. So, but nonetheless, but the fight that's going to be bring back or get everybody riled up about boxing is Loma Terrafimo. Why I say that? I'm dying for Loma to lose, bro. I pay to watch him lose. So that day's gonna come. For sure. The underrated boxer that I think is Charlo at 154. I really think that he won the first fight, but I couldn't see.
Cut it. Dennis, thanks for calling in. We got JT in New Orleans.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. We're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'm killing this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
What's up, Ness? What's up, Mario?
Good morning.
Good morning. The best weight class in the division in boxing right now is welterweight, and that's all I got on that topic. And character, and Roger Mayweather famous voice saying you don't know shit about boxing. That's all I got.
All right.
Yo.
We going out to oh shit. Not yet, Intrigue. I gotta bring your new intro in. We going out to Rue in the 504. What up?
Yeah, good morning, fellas. What's up?
What up? Good morning.
Best of what's happening? Best Division 154. Most underrated fighter, Alexander Usyk. Recently retired fighter I would like to see back, Vladimir Klitschko. And I hate to say this, the fight that's going to probably be the big thing that boxing would need coming back from all this is probably Mayweather-Pacquiao too. I mean, that's the ultimate casual fight. It was the biggest event in boxing ever. That's what I'm putting my head on that one. That's my call. Everybody stay safe.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for calling in, champ. I'm going to have to go to someone else. I got Sid. Talk to us.
What up, man?
How are you?
Everybody need to like the video. I feel like the best boxing division got to be either 147 or heavyweight because they the ones that's pushing this shit and keeping it going right now. Well, not completely, but I don't know. That ain't the full answer. I feel like underrated boxer. I'm gonna have to go with y'all with the Sean Porter because he put a lot of people at 147, made it competitive to the point where we can't clear cut nobody on winning. On the second fight. And then at what? I don't remember the rest of the questions and shit. But yeah, good shit on y'all interviews. Mario wasn't sounding that bad today, Mario, man. Just be yourself, man. People don't want to punch you like me. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Keep y'all shit going.
All right, thanks for calling in.
Mario sending an email right now.
All right. So I'm struggling here because my man Intrigued done sent me so many intros. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's this one. So we're going to go ahead and work this one out just a little bit. Oh, man. Okay, I got to cancel this. I'm like, yo, what, it froze on me? Intrigue and his 100 intros to make his Thurman point. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for the new one? We're gonna bring it out halfway, bring it up slowly.
Hell no. He mad because I get the better fights. He mad because they still like me more. He mad because I got better numbers. He mad because he can't beat Keith Thurman. That's why he mad. Hell no. So once when I get on that stage and I come at you, better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son. I'm telling you.
I like that one. What up? Intrigue, the incredible Atlanta.
Okay.
What's good? Appreciate it, man. Yeah, you better not duck me.
That had some good bass to it. I like that one.
Yeah. I just want to use one of my beats I already had. Something new. Yeah, man. What's the questions y'all got?
So what is it? The most underrated boxer?
Most underrated boxer. I'm gonna say Keith Thurman, cause he gets no respect from nobody. You know what I mean? Except a Keith Thurman fan. No boxing fan. If it's a Spence fan, a Crawford fan, a Porter fan, any fan, they're not giving Thurman nothing. He can come back and beat whoever he's gonna beat, and they still gonna hate on him. So I say Keith Thurman.
So what's the fight that nobody's talking about that needs to happen as soon as COVID is over?
That's a good one. That's a good one, man. I say probably I go with the Spence Crawford.
Man, everybody talking about that. A fight that nobody's talking about.
Oh, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about
that. Nobody's talking about.
Well, that'll be like a Thurman Crawford or Boots and Ugas.
That was more down the line. But you know what? A fight that nobody's talking about no more that I would love, Thurman, Mikey Garcia, bro. I remember that was big when Thurman was the man. Mikey called him out first. Then Thurman got injured. Yeah, then Thurman got injured, and he put his attention on Earl because Earl became the man. That's where he fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't mind that fight, especially now with the question marks that kind of surround Keith. That wouldn't be a bad fight right now. I would like that. Thurman, you seen Getty came on?
Thurman will home run punch motherfucking Mikey. And shout out
into the stands.
Shout out to Mikey, you know what I'm saying? He about to send me some CBD. Them gummies be popping.
Get over here!
Okay, that was a little too loud, maybe, but I
was that those are the CBDs from the pre-pro?
Yeah.
Yeah, those look fire.
Nah, the gummies is popping, yo.
I
just don't know. I just don't know how to use the oil. What do you do with the oil?
I have a friend that says that you put it right under the tongue, or I think under the tongue. Some of them too absorb faster. I think.
So you drop it on your tongue?
Yeah. Simple as that. I know that there is an oil based lotion or something like
nah,
that.
I got that too. The
You can rub
bomb. The
in.
bomb. Here go the bomb.
Oh, the bombs. That's what it
Yeah,
is. It's the
yeah.
bomb.
I'm gonna start rubbing this shit on my
shit,
knee,
are
but
those dope?
I'm waiting for a fight to rub it on my knee. Nah, I mean, got
So you
use
haven't
things.
used it yet?
I used all the gummies. They work.
But you haven't used the bomb yet.
Not the bomb. But
That's what I want to try the bomb.
I
Bro,
told them
for
send
my-
me some
for
more
my
gummies.
back.
B. The gummies is they put you to sleepy time. Let's go out to Getty. Oh wait, sorry Getty. We got a boomerang we got to get to.
He needs some milk.
You always love that soundbite.
Red belt, black belt, WO and green. I'm king. Undisputed GOAT, TBE. And you can catch the news first on TBV. Voice of the people, people now let me speak. Scientists of the sweet, BOXING.
Yo, TBV, what's good?
What up, Stan?
Chilling.
Stainless, you still got Mario in the lab, huh?
I guess
I
so,
can't record,
man. You know what I'm
man.
saying?
It's fucking damn Corona, bro.
Oh, that's right. You can't go to no studio right now. I get you.
Yeah, man. I tried 3 times. Couldn't get in.
I hear you, Mario. I hear you, man. Some more excuses.
Acapella.
I'll spit it acapella on Friday. Freestyle
You know
Friday.
what? I'm off on Friday. You know what? I challenge you Friday to a freestyle competition.
Ooh, but it got
acapella. Any other MCs that want to join in, I'm off all day Friday.
But I want
re-up,
talent. See, I want talent. So I think that the freestyles need to be stricted to boxing related. Because anybody could spit. Anybody could spit.
Yo, that don't make me flinch, bruh. Like I said, on Friday, I challenge you to a freestyle competition.
Yeah, that's right.
That way, we ain't got to worry about it.
I love it.
Onto the topics. Yeah, 147 is still where it's at. I'm gonna just say the welterweight division, junior, super. It don't matter. Like the welterweight is where it's popping. Most underrated fighter. I mean, I want to say Sean Porter, but I kind of lean towards Jermell Charlo too. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude got the goods. You know what I'm saying? People just, you know what I'm saying? He went from boxer to puncher. You know what I'm saying? And people still underrating him. So I think I'm gonna stick with Jermell Charlo on that. What was the other questions coming out of retirement?
The fight that nobody's talking about that needs to happen as soon as COVID is over.
That's got to be Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. No, I'm just bullshit.
I like that. Oh man, yo, got my hopes up, bro. I was like, yeah, talk that talk.
Yo, gave you hella time too because we took you elsewhere. Yo, you know, I wonder what that fight is gonna be. Like, what other promoters gonna think of for the first big fight out the bat, man? That's gonna be interesting.
They're getting it ready. I'm telling you.
Getty Harlem, what up?
Yo, what's good, y'all? How y'all living, man?
Oh man, can't call it.
Chilling.
Another day, another podcast.
That's a fact, man. I'm glad to hear. My favorite division, I would say right now, it's like a toss up. I like that super welterweight division, and then the middleweight division. As far as the underrated, I got to go with Charlo as well. Actually, I got to go with both Charlos. I think that they're about to make a good impact on both of their divisions. I'm still waiting for another card from them. You know, another double impact card, however they want to call it. And was the underrated? How can I say who I think would be underrated? I gotta go. I was gonna go with Charlo, but because somebody has said Sean Porter, and I thought about it, I think Sean Porter definitely is underrated just because of, you know, he's really making it uncomfortable for dudes in the ring. You know, and that's really it. Then how y'all what else other questions I need to answer?
The fight that no one's talking about, coming right back to boxing, straight out of COVID.
Oh, straight out of I mean, of course they gotta, you know, we gotta make money. So we gonna go with whatever fight L has, because we gotta make money. And then right after that, the boxing world, they gotta put together a good card. So I'm down for a fight, but they got to put together a good card.
Yeah, I'm giving all of y'all like a healthy extra amount of time, but
Yo, a tournament would be dope right now.
Gotta
like, if they
make
just
that guap.
like a tournament to come back.
Yo, man, the
Like a
fight,
Super Six.
you gotta give me a good fight coming straight out of COVID, man. Like something that's gonna be like straight out of COVID. Another look.
That's exactly what I thought.
Nah, you messed up. It's gotta be like straight out of COVID. Another virus called Corona. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, give me something fire, bro.
There goes Ness's bars.
Yeah, that's my Friday bars right there.
What was
My
that
Friday
Eminem
bars.
line? Feminist women love Eminem. So then you could do like oh, never mind. I'm gonna save that bar. Ooh, I like that one.
Save C's. Let me see where we going. We going to. I was gonna see who was gonna be the dude to say this, but it's taking too long for a caller to say this, so I'm gonna just do that myself.
Do that.
Yeah, but first I gotta drop a bomb.
Oh.
Yo, cause how ain't nobody say Andre as the most underrated fighter yet? But yet, whenever it's a Canelo topic,
nice.
and whenever it's a Canelo topic, dudes want to put their little cowboy hat and start riding
I'm mad
around
now,
the saddle and shit. You know what I'm saying?
mad that I didn't say him.
Nobody saying Andre, but this is what I'm telling you: when you ain't doing shit, when you ain't popping, you ain't fucking popping. We can't force you to be popping. This is everybody's opportunity. This is everybody's opportunity right now. Everybody's opportunity for Andre to get a shot. It's like, boom, that's the most underrated fighter. People ducking him. Underrated. Nah, nothing.
But that's got to be but see that's exactly why he's underrated. Demetrius Andrade, like, you're making all the points of why he would be considered underrated.
If he was someone would have said it, but they didn't.
I regret that I didn't say it. That's worth at least half a point.
Yeah.
I don't
think he's underrated. I think he's just got that Sean Porter stigma. A tough fight. I don't want you in my top 3 options. I don't think he's underrated. I think he's just being dodged. I don't know if those two go hand in hand with each other, but I never underrated Andrade. I always knew that he had skills to pay the bills. It's just that, his fights have been somewhat boring throughout his career. He had that stop for a while, promotional issues or whatever. But his last couple of fights, he's shown me that he could go out and take some risks, throw some heavy shots.
Only one guy answered underrated, and they used Terrence Crawford, and I was like, underrated how?
Somebody said Sean Porter too, though.
Praises his
I mean, I believe that Terrence Crawford's underrated because I get where he's coming from.
I was gonna say that originally,
even though he was trolling, he was trolling because he's a Crawford fan. But I understand where he is underrated. He's underrated by people like me, by the fraction of fans that like to be like for the fighter to be proven. Like, we want you to be in there. We want to see the test. Like, I did it to everybody. It don't matter what's your nationality, what's your color, where you come from. I did it to everybody. Gennady needed to be in a test. I wasn't jumping on HBO's bandwagon. Chocolatito, Canelo, Amir Khan. Like, everybody, you got to be in the test.
This, though. Look, I was about to say this, and tell me if y'all think that I'm off, because I think I might be off in terms of what underrated should mean. But the last time, this is why I think Terrence Crawford's underrated. The last time we had an undefeated black welterweight that was arguably pound for pound best, it was Floyd Mayweather, and he made all the money, and he earned it. I'm not saying he didn't earn it or nothing like that. Now Terrence Crawford comes along, undefeated, black welterweight, pound for pound best, and he doesn't get that shine, you know what I mean? And he doesn't get that money, and he doesn't get that type of hype. So that's why I consider him underrated, just because he should be in that position. But I don't know, maybe I'm off a bit. Maybe I'm thinking underrated and what he deserves.
Well, maybe Terrence, maybe Terrence doesn't fall under that. And maybe his fans are just. They want more attention because, according to Webster's, the definition of underrated is something that has not received the merit, recognition, or praise it deserves. And that cannot...
He definitely falls under that then.
Yeah, no, Mario. That cannot be Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford has received like 2 or 3 ESPYs, multiple year fighter of the year award. He's received obviously undisputed. He's got the accolades, so he got the merits. He gets the praise and the recognition. He has that. We can't say that he doesn't.
I don't know, bro. I mean, there's still so many people that feel like
it doesn't matter
other
what
welterweights
people
have done
think.
more, and it's
It
not
doesn't
true
matter
just
what
because
people
he has.
think. Think about his last
It does
interview.
matter. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Think about his last interview. It doesn't matter what people think in out of his own words. He knows what he said. It doesn't matter if you think I'm great. I know I'm great. Look at what I've done. So he knows. He's got the accolades. People give him credit. He got 2 Ring Magazine belts. He got 2 ESPYs. He unified twice, and he undisputed once. So he got the accolades.
So what made you at first say that he was underrated? Because you were starting to say you thought he was underrated.
Because he doesn't because the problem is he's underrated at the welterweight division. That's why. He's underrated because he doesn't have the merits at the welterweight. He doesn't have the accolades or the achievements there. He's underrated at the welterweight division, but as a whole, he's not. He's a pound for pound fighter in almost every single pugilist's mind. So he's got the merit. He's got the merit.
Yeah, it's just hard for me.
But it is open for opinion, right?
To see him as the pound for pound. Yeah, it's hard for me to see him as a pound for pound, and then in the same breath, like not give him the credit at 147. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what you're doing necessarily at all. I'm just saying that's what people do in general. You know what I mean? And so
no, that's definitely what I'm doing.
You're the best.
That's definitely what I'm doing. That's definitely what I'm doing because the thing is, I don't believe in pound for pound, right? Even though I liked his interview and he's like, yo, I don't put heavyweights in there. If a heavyweight want to be in there, he got to go down a cruiserweight or some shit. You know what I mean? Win titles there. Like that's the definition for him. A dude that can fight at any division, regardless of weight. But yeah, it's so subjective. Everyone has different reasons as to why you're pound for pound. That I don't really get involved in pound for pound. You know what I mean? But it's everything is open for interpretation. So if you feel like he is underrated, I guess he is. But technically, the definition says that he's not. He definitely has probably more merits than most people in boxing, right? Like he's right up there with what's this guy's name? Canelo.
Floyd Mayweather.
Canelo. Like if we did accolades of active fighters, right? Obviously Canelo got more divisions than him. I guess on the paper tip. Well, no, because that would be only multiple division champ. That's only one specific accolade, right? Like, you got to add more shit. Because I was going to say, I guess those people that are 4 times champs are going to be in front of him because he's only 3 division champ, right? Or is it 2 division? 3 division. 30? No, 35,
yeah,
35, 40, 47.
35, 40, 47.
Yeah, then you got guys like Broner and Leo and Canelo that are 4 division. You know what I mean? So those go before. It depends, though, because Broner, Leo, they don't got Fighter of the Year awards. They don't got Ring Magazine belt. Maybe Leo did when he beat Frampton.
Leo.
Yeah, because maybe when he beat Frampton and Abner, he was considered the man, and probably they gave him the ring, but I don't remember. But let me go out to Stone Bone Boxing, Colorado. Real quick before I even ring the bell, I was about to say ring your bell, but that would have sounded crazy. So I'm gonna give you the subjects real quick so you don't lose your time. What's the one fight nobody is talking about that you would like to see restart boxing straight out of COVID? And then we got who's the most underrated fighter in boxing? And then we got what recently retired fighter is most likely to make a comeback in boxing? And then obviously, what is your best division in boxing right now? Stone Bone Boxing, talk to us.
I'm gonna start at the end. Probably 135, the best division. I would want like a Ward to come back and do a Kovalev. I mean, not a Kovalev, but a Canelo or something like that. That'd be a big fight for him to come back for. And I think he got the skill to beat Canelo. He's bigger, 6 foot tall. Canelo used to be like old tall guys. Most underrated fighter to me, I think. I wouldn't put Sean Porter in there because he's had those championships fights, but he's lost. He lost I guess he beat Danny for the vacant WBC, but I wouldn't call him underrated because he done had like 4-5 title shots and he lost 3 or 4 of them. So I don't really think you're underrated. I would go with like maybe a Gary Russell Jr., somebody like that had lost one good fight, but had been on a roll and should get that rematch with Lomachenko. And damn, the fight that we want out of COVID, man, I'm tired of intrigue, man. Bring Keith Thurman out. Put Bud and Keith Thurman in the ring and let Bud knock that ponytail off his head like what's the name did Franchise Cruz shit. Cause I'm tired of intrigue every day talking about Keith Thurman. But it's a good fight though, man. And man, yeah, I think that would be a good one, something like that. Or go ahead and make Leo versus Gary Russell. Forget the tank. Get all of the speculation about is he going to jail? Forget all that. Just go ahead and make Leo versus Gary Russell. I'll catch y'all later.
Yo, man. That was a fucking great call, Stonebone. When we ain't beefing on Bud, you freaking talk some good boxing. That was, for real.
That backhanded ass compliment.
Nah, it ain't backhanded. That's like, bro. I'm like,
fucking with you.
Shit. I'm looking at my man like, He got them talent. He got that talent, man. That shit, the delivery and everything. I'm going everywhere with it. Excuse me. Let me go out to Trey in the Bay. What up?
What up? Can you hear me good? Oh shit, my background loud. Come back to me.
All right, damn, you must work in an auto body shop. That was like, I felt like that was like an air tool, but a grinder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A grinder and shit.
Yeah.
Air tool grinder or something. All right, so damn, no Trey in the Bay. Oh shit, I think let me see. J Mac. Did we give J Mac, you get a boomerang. What's up?
I'm on my boomerang right now.
Yes, sir. You only have one call.
Okay. Let me say this. I was gonna say Andrade. When I thought about it, I was the first caller, so hold on. I was the first caller, so I couldn't really put some thought process into it. And my fight I want to see coming back is Cholo and Andrade, Jamal Cholo and Andrade coming back. I text you that because I was serious about that. I just couldn't put that thought process to it. And right before you said it. Casual, let me tell you something. Stop reaching for something you can't touch, man. Sit your $5 ass down and learn how to debate and come with better IQ topics on the show. Stop coming for me. I'm talking to you. Stop coming for me. Stop coming for me.
I just need to know who's talking. Say your name though. Who's
this? This J Mac. This J Mac. You know, stop coming for me. Stop coming for me. You can't argue with me. You can't win no arguments. Go sit your $5 ass down somewhere and learn some more boxing before you start calling my name.
What's your name? J Mac? Is you J Mac?
Yeah. Yeah, you know the name. You said it. You know the name. I'm just letting it be clear. I'm letting it be clear. Don't call my name if you can't talk boxing. Go learn. Change your name from casual first.
Pledge, J Mac. Pledge. You know I ignite you in a good way. You said it yourself. After you go negative, after casual when Nestor went name for name, I'm gonna go with the casual fan side and stick with the welterweight. Shut up.
Oh, he taking points for that. Yo, so he said you can't debate with him, but he like your opinions though. That's what you saying.
Exactly. Curry with the 3 right there. Boom.
Real quick though, on some untitled shit. This is why I like not chasing views and Patreons instead of that, right? So, yo, did y'all see that little clip floating on IG of Drake talking about he did like 3 DNA tests for his baby?
Nah, who? My bad?
My bad. What you talking about?
Yeah, that's his son's
baby. The baby kind of doesn't look like him.
It don't. Like, it don't, bro. Super blonde. It seemed blonde to me. Curly blonde too. That's the only reason I said
that's the way
I can see it.
Everybody's gonna look in the future.
What? With blue
like
eyes?
His baby.
Everybody.
Yeah, blonde hair. Yeah, I think everybody's gonna look like that in the future.
What the fuck are you talking
about?
Here?
How's the hair gonna be that blonde? That's like
how'd you get from Drake to everybody going to that? What you talking about?
I'm just saying, like his baby.
Genetics?
In my opinion, like the way that people are gonna look in the future, like we're all blended as one. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on, champ. Hold on. Shit about Cash. Strap up. They coming for you, B.
I know.
Yo,
I got him to come back. I got him to come back.
So he got a DNA test on his.
Yo, what you mean you got him to come back?
I got him to come back. See?
What? What you talk about though? Yo, strap up. Yo, strap up. I'm saying he coming for you, so I just, you know what I'm saying? I want you to be ready. Like,
Ready.
You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Don't let him sneak up on you, you know what I mean? All right? J Matt, what up? Counterpunch.
All right, first of all, hey, Stonebone. Shout out to Stonebone for calling Intrigue out on that BS. Intrigue still pumping that Keith Thurman and stuff like that. But I give him his credit for still holding and standing on his square. Back to your casual ass. Nigga, I agree with you for one time and you want a fucking cookie? You want a cookie, nigga? I agree with one time and you want a fucking cookie, man. Like I said, man, we ain't on the same level. Don't call my name on this show like you trying to go somewhere. I already got Supermax calling me out, but he ain't show up. Where he at? Where that debate show at? You ain't ready for me. Go sit down and dig up your facts and continue agreeing with Nesta and all that shit like that, man. Get your boxing game up, man, before you call my name. Keep my name out your mouth until you learn how to talk boxing. You're a casual, just like a casual ass fan with your casual ass $2 ass nigga. That's my call.
Okay. Who was that? Who was that?
J Mac.
Was that Intrigue? Intrigue coming at me now?
Nah, that was J Mac. Intrigue.
Okay. That was J Mac. Damn, J Mac, you ain't clear about presenting yourself. Your presence ain't known when you step in the room, bro. You sound too much like everybody that's worth. I mean, I ain't even gonna put everybody in the case that you in, but you don't sound that distinguishable.
But he's saying that just don't come at him in a boxing debate. Like you ain't on his level on a boxing debate.
Yo, I don't debate in boxing. I voice my opinion. I am voice of the people. And he agrees with me. Don't give me that I agree with Ness. I agree with Ness because he sometimes has good ass points and shifts my idea of what is a good fight. That's it. I ain't afraid to say that shit.
You don't agree with me. You agree with my matchmaking.
I agree with your matchmaking. Like sometimes I could agree with what Sean Porter says. You know? Thank you. That shit ain't worth $5. That shit worth at least $50. And $3 on Patreon if you want to join. Boxing Fan Apparel.
What they get though?
Quick. You gonna get something free. You gonna get a discount.
Nah, listen, because it's the first 5. You should be able to tell them. Like, because you only got 5 free deliveries. Wait, is this another counterpunch? You gotta give me. You gotta text me. Yes, this is another counterpunch because that might have been just you just repeating it. But
yo,
yeah,
he's coming back. Yo, I swear. Listen,
we got Stainless in the meantime on a boomerang. What
go
up?
ahead, go ahead.
What was the other questions? Because I only got to the fight rings.
What recently retired boxer is most likely to come back?
I hate to see him come back, but Manny Pacquiao, he retired, right? He needed to retire. But nah, all jokes aside, I think Floyd probably stand the greater chance of coming back because he keep coming back. But I wouldn't mind seeing Klitschko come back and shake up the heavyweight division a little bit, see what he got left in the tank.
Good pick. What's the best division in boxing right now?
Yeah, I got that one.
He answered that one.
So what fight is no one talking about that could be, what's the one fight no one's talking about that you would like to restart boxing straight out of COVID?
Man, it might be a lackluster. You brought it up, but I was gonna bring it up myself, and that's that Charlo Andre. You know what I'm saying? Andre kind of need that push anyway, and both of them kind of need a big fight or a good name. So I think that'd be a good fight as far as restarting. But somebody else said it, man. I think it was Getty out of Brooklyn. Like it's gonna have to be a whole card. It can't just be one fight. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to be
I agree.
Nah, y'all wishing on a star now. Stop getting greedy. Y'all been eating long enough now.
We'll see. There's not going to be a lot of dates. But they ain't going to give you. A lot of fighters are going to need fights.
They ain't giving you 2 main events, man. They only did that one time that I remember in the last 10 years, and that was Floyd Canelo. Yep, Floyd Canelo, Macice Garcia on the undercard.
What a great night that was.
Imagine that type of fight again. That would be the equivalent of Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor and Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, because that's what it was, right? It was who? Yeah, because Canelo fought Floyd.
Yeah, I could rock
It
with
was
that.
the best
maybe
versus
like a
the best.
Taylor Ramirez. Maybe like a Taylor
That's
Ramirez.
what I said.
Oh, is that what you said? I'm sorry.
I didn't say that.
I thought you said Ramirez and. Well, I
And
mean, you probably
Taylor.
did. I heard it wrong. I was thinking of somebody else.
I
too.
thought I said Ramirez Taylor. If I didn't say Ramirez, I definitely meant the two at 140 and the two at 47 best.
Yeah.
It was exactly what took place. Floyd was the best at 47, and he did the catchweight with Canelo. And, you know,
What's the better
Danny
card
and
in your
Matisse was the
opinion? What would
best.
be the better card between those two that you just said?
Singled?
Like one versus the
Separated?
other. Yeah. Like if
I mean,
pick Canelo and
you know what it
Mayweather.
is, bro. Everybody wants Earl versus Bud. Ain't no buzz on that. Ain't no buzz on Ramirez Taylor. People just
No. I'm saying take Ramirez Taylor and put it on the same card as Spence and Crawford. What's a better card? A better 2-fight card? That one or the one that happened with Canelo, Mayweather, and Danny Garcia and Matisse?
Bro, are you crazy, man? Those the ones that are the ones that set the fucking the bar are still the most elite. Like Floyd and Canelo are the most elite, and Danny and Lucas have more luster than.
Yeah, but here's the only thing I'll say against that. I think that we get better fights out of the Spence, Crawford, Taylor, Ramirez.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
those two fights are better than the other two fights that we got.
I mean, it's easy to say that because no one's on.
Yeah.
No, not only that, no one's on Floyd's level. So he's the only dude that you know could pitch fucking shutouts with elite level fighters. So I think Earl and Crawford are more on each other's level. Like, even the Crawford fans never said he'll wash him, right? So, like, Earl is saying that now, but what I mean is, like, people still think it's going to be competitive, but Bud will win. I don't think, like, imagine if Bud did what Fury did out of nowhere. However that looks, whether it looks just like a knockout loss or it looks like what Mayweather did to Canelo, where you
Referee
outbox him
stoppage,
12.
something.
No, forget referee. Imagine Crawford outbox Earl for 12 complete rounds in the style, and then I don't mean literal style, but I mean like you see Canelo couldn't put a glove on.
In the same kind of fashion.
Yeah,
but does he got to score that knockout?
No, because Canelo didn't get knocked out by Floyd. Floyd just was untouched.
Yeah, but you said Fury.
No, that's the first. I said those two options.
Oh, got it.
Meaning, imagine Crawford beats Earl in those two ways.
Yes. Okay,
You know,
I get
like-
that. Here's the thing. That would be shocking, but
not happening.
Yeah, not happening. I think he could win an 8-4 card though, for sure, Crawford.
And that's why I'm telling you that Crawford Earl is nowhere on the level of Floyd Canelo.
Okay.
Because Floyd is just so he's shown us fight after fight that he's so like the most and being generous, like the most you could be finding for people is like 4 rounds. Like that's the most you could find for people when they fight.
What about
Floyd.
Ramirez Taylor? Is that on the level of Matisse
And
Garcia?
that's what
in
I'm
your
saying.
opinion?
I'm biased because I've lived through Danny's generation, and I just think that Danny fought more monsters than fucking
Well, they have more
Ramirez.
appeal for sure. They have more commercial appeal at
Absolutely.
the time. Yo, I remember I was at a baseball game and me and my cousin were talking. This chick was like, "Oh, you talking Danny Garcia Matisse?" I was like, "You're talking Danny Garcia Matisse?" Like, so it was crazy.
Ramirez's 2 biggest wins is like
Booker.
Definitely, but I'm trying to think that first Orozco, right? He won a vacant title versus Orozco, maybe. Maybe I'm not really even sure, but that's how it is. You see, when you think of Crawford, at least you know the names he fought at 140. You think of Danny, you know the names he fought at 140. Like to think of Ramirez and you only know Hooker. I am a hardcore, so I always gonna remember that kid Mike Reed, because he's from DMV, and Ramirez knocked him out with the left hook to the body. I think he's supposed to fight Postal next, but. You know,
I think he got a couple of fights coming up that'll put him in that vision you're talking about. He got he doesn't have too many extravagant names. Yeah.
All right, but
Beat
I know
Mike Reed when Mike Reed was undefeated.
Yeah. I just mentioned that, and I said I'm a
sorry.
hardcore, so I know that one, and I'll give him credit. But let me refresh.
I like Mike Reed.
Let me refresh. Brandon, we doing what's the one fight nobody is talking about that you would like to see restart boxing straight out of COVID. Who's the most underrated fighter, and what's the best division in boxing? And what fighter can come out of retirement? What most recently retired fighter would come out of retirement in your mind? Brandon in Cincinnati, you ready? Champion? Didn't I say okay?
Yeah, what's up, brothers?
What up? What
Yeah,
up?
what's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
As far as the what fight we want to see coming out of the COVID-19, I'm trying to think of one that can realistically happen. I'm gonna say Joe Joyce and what's the other kid name? Heavyweight.
Dubois.
Dubois. Joe Joyce Dubois. I mean, I could say Bud and Arrow, but that shit ain't realistic. So I'm gonna say something that's going to happen. So I'm gonna say Joe Joyce and Dubois is the fight that I want to see reignite boxing coming out of COVID. Either that or Lomachenko and Lopez. Best division in boxing is 154 easily. I mean, it's no, it's a hardcore fans division. You get the best fighting the best. We ain't hearing about no size of the street. We ain't hearing about no marination. I mean, just think about Austin Trout 3-fight run. He fought Harrison. I mean, not Austin Trout, Jared Hurst 3-fight run before he lost. He fought Harrison, Trout, Laura before he lost. I mean, who else is fighting 3-fight stretches like that before they lose to J-Rock? You got Charlo losing fights, coming back winning. You got Harrison upsetting people, J-Rock upsetting people, getting upset. These guys knock each other off.
Let me ask you a question. Give me your variation of fights that you would be willing to pay for in that division.
I don't care. I mean, ain't too many fights other than Crawford Earl that I'm willing to pay for now. So
really,
that question is irrelevant. So
wow.
Like I said, those guys knocking each other off. You got
So that means that you wouldn't pay for it either? Like if they said, yo, Jason Rosario, Charlo's pay-per-view, you not watching it. You catching it on a replay or something.
I'll see if they showing it at a movie theater or something. But
so do me a favor, put that same train of thought into the whole division. Which one of those would you go to the movie theater for? How many of those? How many in 154 are worth you paying pay-per-view?
Probably 3 of them.
Which variations?
If you said Charlo and J-Rock, or Charlo and Rosario, or Rosario, just any one of the champions fighting the champions, I'll be willing to go to the movies to see them. But let me get to the next question. Oh yeah, and y'all probably don't forget the black horse of that division, Brian Carlos Castano, the only PBC fighter that's allowed to fight for WBO belts. He's the black horse over there, so he's in the mix too. He's a beast. But then you got Charlo about to fight Laura. I mean, it's just fight after fight in that division. As far as the most underrated fighter, I'm gonna say I got 2 of them. I'm gonna say Gary Russell and Zurdo. I don't think Zurdo gets enough love. I know he's going through the shit with the thing, but I'm gonna say Zurdo. And as far as the boxer who's coming out of retirement, probably Adrian Broner. I'm gonna say he's gonna come out of retirement soon. But that's my call.
All right, my Jimbe, what up?
What's good, guys?
What up?
So, most underrated fighter, I've changed this 3 times. So first I had Castano. Yeah, first I had Brian Castano, then I had Miguel Berchelt, and then I just decided to go with Rigo because people are sleeping on my man. They don't understand his boxing skills at all. He's old and he will sleep anyway. Sleep him fast, easy work. I think he's the most underrated boxer ever. Fight that I would like to see: Andy Ruiz, Dylan White. Right out of COVID, with a honorable mention for Jason Rosario, Jermell Charlo. Division, I gotta agree with Brandon again. Super welterweight. I understand what you're saying. There's not a lot of casual fan appeal in that division, but if you would put that division into a tournament setting, that would be the best division in boxing. And then also, I would have to go with Klitschko, just because the heavyweights are on fire right now, and bringing one more into the mix would definitely catapult boxing to where it is heading, but I think it would just be a little bit faster. But anyway, I got to get ready for this conference call. Love you guys. Keep up the great work.
All right, brother. Well, thank you so much for calling in, brother. Let's see, who do we got? We could try Trey again. Trey, what's up?
What up? Hey, you was almost close. I'm guessing at the tools that we use, and we do use them as wells. But that was a drill, a pneumatic drill. But yeah, you was close.
Cool.
I started talking. My coworker just started drilling. I'm like, bruh. Best fight coming back. I was really looking forward to the Dubois Joyce. I wanted to see if Dubois could get past that dude, because I mean his last fight was Fujimoto. Shit. What was the other ones, y'all?
What fight would you like to see straight out of COVID happen that no one is talking about?
Oh yeah, I said George Joyce Dubois, but that kind of was being talked about. Shit, I don't know. I'm gonna skip that one. Then I got best division. I got 147, and coming out of retirement, Floyd been flirting with it. I don't know if he gonna do it now. We'll say Floyd without all this other shit that he been having going on right now. And then what's the last one?
Most underrated boxer.
I always say Sean Porter, man. He don't get his credit, man. They talk shit about him, but then have a tough fight with him. Don't nobody want to pay him. He kind of treated the worst in the welterweight division. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I go with Sean.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, that's funny, man. People don't normally agree with me, but they agreeing with me today. I'm telling you, Sean Porter, most underrated, bro. People, he never Cinderella, bro. I mean, nah, that's wrong. He is Cinderella. He's never the princess, man. It fucking sucks. But I know that's a retarded metaphor for boxing.
Nah, I got what you meant though. Always but
it's too much testosterone it's too much testosterone on a boxing podcast to be using the bride metaphors and
Cinderella.
Shit.
Yeah.
Let me go out to this new caller. What is this? Yeah. Is this Colorado? I don't know where's 713.
I think it's Houston. Houston.
New caller, who's this? First time caller? If you are, say you're first time caller. We can give you that first time caller intro, and you can just introduce yourself like you was Ric Flair or something. You know, Mike Tyson.
Whoa, y'all hear me?
Yeah, who's this?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's first time caller. First time caller, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yeah, man, I'm first time caller, man. I'm from Houston. Let me see, what was the question?
What's your name first, champ?
I'm Tyson from Houston.
Tyson from Houston. First question is, what is the best division in boxing right now?
Best division, I got 147. That's why I like the most fighters at 147, but I guess they not all fighting each other, but that's the best division I got.
What recently retired fighter is most likely to make a comeback?
Most likely, I'm gonna go with Floyd. I heard everybody else been saying Floyd, but if I want to be off the wall, I say Broner versus Bradley. When he say I'll stop you, bitch.
Bradley, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that.
Yep. Who else y'all got? What else y'all say? Matchups that I wanted to see.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Plant versus Jacobs.
Ooh, we talked about that yesterday or Thursday or Sunday.
Who's that?
Plant versus Jacobs.
Plant versus Jacobs.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's actually a big.
Did you
fight.
give us your most
Super
underrated
fight.
boxer? Most underrated boxer?
Most underrated. I ain't got a most underrated. I want to say most underrated boxer might be Spence, because they always saying Crawford is the best boxer. But I don't know. I like Spence boxing. I mean, especially what he did versus Mikey. Even though people say he ain't knocked him out, but shit, that's who I like.
All right. Well, that's all the questions,
shit,
champ.
That's all I got, though, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I like listening to y'all in the morning while I'm at work, man. I appreciate y'all. That's all I got.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate
Thank you
it,
for calling
Tyson.
in.
Call in more often. We got you locked down. So next time you call, we got you.
Yeah, definitely,
Welcome to the show, Tyson.
Welcome.
What up, Doom?
Hopefully you graduate, man, and you take advantage of our Patreon page where you can ask all the fighters that we interview a question. For a measly $3, you buy us a cup of coffee. You're able to ask mostly every single fighter a question. We haven't really restricted any one from that, post particularly. But I guess that's everyone. Let me double check any boomerangs. I think I got to go back to Intrigue on a boomerang. What up?
What up? What up? What up? Hey, J Mac and Stonebone, my peoples, but J Mac was saying to you, Ness, he had like you want a cookie or something, but what do you expect? He in the Bud Scouts. You should be one. That's what they do, sell cookies, right? They sell Bud cookies. And Stonebone gonna end up getting kicked out. The Bud Scouts calling for a Thurman Crawford fight. Because when Thurman knocked Crawford out, man, Crawford is kicking you out of the Bud Scouts, the Bud Tenders. You done, man. So stop calling.
They won't never make that fight.
Right. No, they're not.
Yo,
Hey,
he's never fought a puncher as big as Thurman. They ain't making that fight, man. People in the Bud Tenders, they be trying to big up Cav Velasquez, but he ain't not. Yo, I think Cav Velasquez heard the show. My man do not respond to none of my texts or calls anymore, bro.
What?
Why they get sensitive? I called him crab and lobster for a while. You know what I mean? For a while, we called him crab and lobster.
Well, actually, you said that about like 3 days ago.
No, I know. I know. I'm gonna be persistent though. I kept texting him. Fuck it, like yo.
Corn machine.
But
talking about corn machine.
Coin machine. That's another good one.
Damn.
But yeah, man. Crawford ain't never been in with a puncher like Thurman, bro. That's a lot of power right there, man. For real. But Thurman kind of might be falsifying the power. Like who has he at least dropped somebody on that elite? He ain't even dropped Porter, and Porter got dropped by Earl and by Broner.
And by Broner, yeah.
Yeah, he ain't dropping nobody.
Man, so Thurman ain't even dropped Robert. Did Danny drop Robert? Danny stopped Robert.
Damn, no,
Danny
I don't
stopped
think
Robert,
so.
I think, but it was a different
Make
version.
an argument that Mean Machine is a guy with the power.
Gil, what it do? Castle Hill Gil in the building. What's going on,
what up,
baby?
Castle Hill?
Gil say he gonna come to the lab after the COVID is gone.
Let me see.
Yeah, you need that rematch in Border Wars.
Yeah. We got to
Another
get your
fight.
name right again in Border Wars. So we went boomerang on Stainless. No or yes? Just one time on Stainless, right? Or twice? Nah, definitely twice. Then we went twice on Intrigue. We went twice on J-Matt. We got to go twice on Trey and my Gene Best. So Trey, you want to go now or later?
Trey been on silent since the first call.
She said, hey, and she said, give it to me. It's in the chat.
Go
so
for
I
it.
can defend myself against what Intrigue just said. Hey, I just posted a chat in a video. That's Enrica casual box fan, and that's Intrigue both running around. You should pull it up, Ness. I don't know how you can see it. They running around lost. Because you got Intrigue trying to find his Keith Thurman fans and stuff like that, keep hating on the Bud fans. But it's funny how your mans ain't never said anything about fighting Crawford until recent while we got this COVID shit going on. And for us to get a correction, I was talking to Enrica about the cookie. When I said who wanted the cookie, because me and Ness already go back and forth. I respect Ness enough to know that he know decently something about boxing. Enrica don't know shit about boxing, but he want to get on here and argue and just push his narrative and run around with his daddy Ness and use his daddy ask permission from Ness to use his same arguing points, man. Both y'all clowns running around naked, looking around lost and shit like that man in that video running into cars and shit. That's my call.
Jay Mika, ladies and gentlemen. Applaud Jay Mika getting that Enrica.
Jay Mika.
Girls hate girls. I'm glad I'm not a girl. Straight up, man. Enrique 3000, a.k.a. Casual Fan, a.k.a. Enrique Church. Patreon.com/Boxing Fan Apparel. I just bought, you know what? Jay Mika, stay 6 feet back, please. Continue to keep 6 feet back.
Yo, y'all funny as hell. Enrica, J Mika, y'all funny.
J Mika want to fight Enrica. With the Vaseline on the
With the Vaseline.
I could see Jay Mika saying like this. Look, your daddy clapping and all that.
Oh
Come
shit!
on.
Talking out with the hands.
Look, I'm trying to say my
Word is
point.
born.
I know
Word is born.
y'all niggas on the flow. Come on, Jay Mika. And Tree said it best. You selling them bud cookies.
I told you they was bud tenders, man. When you go to Vegas, you can't get your bud without seeing a bud tender. I'm telling you, they over there selling bud for sure. These Bud Crawford fans, so they bud tenders, man. But I guess they all fit good. Bud tenders, Bud Light, Butterhood.
But look, I'm a go to J Mac. I'm gonna forget about J Mika. Look, J Mac, you right. I should be doing more research. And lately, the last few days, you know, I've got your attention because that was my goal, to win your attention. And look, now you coming out your character because you was real tough before. Now you coming out your character, just being J Mac, addressing me by my name. Now you switched it over to Jamaica because you got played.
Damn, Enrique said this was all part of his COVID-19 plan to get J Mac into a beef.
Let's go to my Jimbe on a boomerang.
Yo, Ness, you still got that Molly Bangway intro?
Oh, I do somewhere. Let me see. Hopefully, I have it right where it's supposed to be. Let me see.
I would like to pay tribute to one of my favorite callers, and if that could be my intro,
wow,
I'd
really?
appreciate it.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
man.
I gotta find it, man. I know I had it. I played it because, you know, I had it. I gotta find it, but I have it somewhere.
He was Wood before Wood even came on the scene.
Damn, that was a good one.
Molly Bangway, he knew his boxing though, bro.
Yeah,
he was
did.
real good. He was real good. Damn, where is that? I promise you, I got it on this soundboard too. There it is. Told you.
Get him, my man.
They ain't gonna know what this is though. See, Dan, yo, shout out to you, bro.
Yeah,
you really an alumni, Dan. That's what's up, yo. Cause
he said Wood.
Not forget Wood. Molly Bangway's old,
Molly
bro.
Bangway,
Molly
yeah.
Bangway is Mixler days, man. He's back in the back in the day, bro. He's.
I actually voted. I voted for. Damn, what's that? What is it? The calling app that you're using now?
The calling app.
Block Talk. You put the survey up for Mixler or Block Talk, and I voted for Block Talk.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you remember that.
I mean, yeah, I definitely
remember. I
remember.
remember that. Shit, that was like 2013.
Yeah, a long time ago. Yo, Mixler was always the shit though. Mixler had
Mixler
way
was cool.
better audio quality and a real nice chat. The problem that they had was they had no way to host the callers.
Host calls, yeah.
And we get a lot of callers. So, but my
so
Jimbe,
many
man,
right now.
Thank you for calling in. But I got your intro. Let's play that. The thing again. They might not know what this is, man.
I'm trying to wait. I'm trying to listen and see if I recognize it.
It ain't gonna.
I don't even remember it.
It might not hit y'all, man. It might not hit y'all. This is some throwback shit. Yo,
well, he was like Haitian.
He was straight.
Ever. I don't think I've ever heard him call with that intro.
Why you bugging that, bro? Let me tell you why. Right, Molly Bangway is straight from Africa.
Oh, yeah, I remember Molly Bangway really well. He was a
That's
great
his
dude
intro, bro.
Smart,
that's his intro. Let me tell you something.
Folk music.
No, that's actually Michael Blackston's. He did a skit with that beat. But I actually just erased the Molly Bangway ads. We used to have Molly Bangway's saying like "hit the thumbs up."
Oh yeah, I remember
it used to be like, "What's up, people? Yes, this is Molly Bangway." Yo,
that was before my time.
Yo, that shit was hilarious.
Come on, hype.
Yo, it's hilarious. He would be like, "What's happening, people? What's up, you son of a bitch? You haven't pressed the
Yeah.
thumbs up button yet?
I would always think he was mad, and he was like just a happy dude though.
I'm kind of nice with that Molly Bongway accent. I hope he listen and come out the woodworks. That shit.
Ness is feeling himself with that accent, with
Yo,
that Molly
I'm
Bongway
telling
accent.
you, bro. Yo, cause he hit
Not
me
bad.
up. He hit me up not too long ago, like I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago and shit. And you know, he was just talking boxing with me on WhatsApp, actually. WhatsApp. Nah, man, I'm telling you, the show was crazy, man. Met some amazing people, man. Let's see. We got the Sid, right?
I don't remember getting the Sid at
in
all.
Orlando. In Orlando.
Man,
I don't think we got the
that.
Sid, bro. I don't remember Sid at all.
Sid, we got to you. They just higher than me. He ain't say nothing, so that mean we got to him. Trey gave it to J Mac.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
My
Brandon
Jimbe.
hitting
Brandon,
you with the counter punch.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
Brandon? Let me see.
Maurice.
Here. I got some texts. Brandon sent a counter punch. He ain't even on. Oh, there you go. What up, Brandon? Brandon?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you good.
I had to come back, man. I wanted to then speak on this Keith Thurman, Bud Crawford smoke. Yeah, I hope that fight get made. And I'm tired of the blasphemy of you trying to paint this picture that Bud ain't never been in there with no puncher. Like I said, man, you need to be worried about it. Has Keith been in there with somebody that punch harder than Bud? I go down Keith's box rec. He got dropped by some dude named Condre Robertson that we never heard of. I'm pretty sure Bud punches harder than Quandre Robertson, who was like 8-6 when he put Keith on his ass. So Bud punches harder than him. So just know, man. If that fight gets made, Keith is going to sleep.
Bro, I ain't even here for that. Like, I'm not here to put Crawford down. Just make the fight. We both know that's gonna be the biggest name on his resume. So he better hope to win so he can have a name.
I want that fight, man. I want that fight.
And I gave you a minute, man, because I wanted to hear everything you had to say. Counterpunch is 45 seconds. I wanted to hear everything because I would love that fight. Listen, I'm with intrigue. The problem is that Thurman's let me down to the sense that, like, I don't know, is he gonna come back 100 and when he's gonna come back 100. You know what I mean? So I'm not out here talking the Thurman hype until he's back. But when he is back, we back on track. You know what I'm saying? He's still this generation's Mayweather. You hear Intrigue's intro. You hear Intrigue's intro and you see his power. You know what I mean? Like, I would love that fight with Crawford. Thurman moves. He don't stand in front of Crawford. He's not going to just sit there. He didn't even sit there in front of Porter. He didn't sit there in front of Porter. He's a counter puncher and he's a big puncher. And Crawford, man, come on, man. He been touched up by little guys.
Thurman hit harder than Crawford, first of all. And, like...
Why? Why, though? Why?
I mean, the KOs are there in his record. But what I'm saying is, where does a Crawfish go out and become a harder puncher?
I think that Thurman has less elite level name.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I think, and not even elite level names. I think Thurman has less big names. Let's say
because elite level knockouts.
No, not elite level. Because them dudes ain't elite, man. But them dudes all names, and Thurman don't got them names. Thurman don't got a Gamboa knockout. He don't got a David Benavidez knockout. Maybe David, because he was interim. So was Diego Chavez.
Diego Chavez was a tough out, and he was undefeated at the time.
He knocked him out.
Soto Karas had a chin. Bro.
Yeah, but he's an old dude.
He was good,
but he's old.
He was good, but yeah, he was old. That's true.
He's old, bro.
Give him any merit for Carlos Quintana?
He does, because he moved up. He was a welterweight who couldn't get a fight. They was ducking him back then.
Yeah, but how old was Quintana at the time?
Bro,
2012.
He was a former champ.
2012.
He was a former champ, and I bet you he was like 2 or 3 years off of either knocking out, because he had 2 fights with Paul Williams. Remember that Quintana knocked out Paul Williams once, or knocked him down and won a decision. Carlos Quintana
Yo,
did.
he was 40 in 2016. When did that fight happen? 2012. Oh yeah, that's his last fight. Oh, okay. So he was like 36.
Yeah,
That's kind of old.
And
it was his last fight.
Come on, don't say
He
kind of
was KO
old.
he was
Don't
KOing
say
cats.
kind of old when Canelo, everybody he fights is 34, 36. Come on, stop it.
I look at quality of fighter though. If Carlos Quintana is a little bit older, in my opinion, it's still Carlos Quintana.
Brother, go look at the net.
It's
go
one
look.
thing to say, oh, it's an old Bernard Hopkins, but he was great. It's another thing to say it's an old Mayweather, but to say that Carlos Quintana was Carlos Quintana at age 25?
A former world champion. He was a former world champion. He shared the ring with Miguel Cotto. He got a win over Paul Williams. Like, what are you talking about? You out here wilding.
Look, he's this world beater to you, Carlos Quintana to me.
I
don't know.
Yo, that's the problem.
At that age,
that's the
I just don't
problem.
think
That's
that
the problem with the youth right there. And I had the same problem when I first started, man, because we don't know someone, we try to discredit them. But you telling me that a dude that won a world title and got in, he made it big enough to be in the ring with Miguel Cotto. And then if I gotta now I'm gonna fucking Google him because I'm pretty sure he beat Paul Williams. And you trying to just fucking overlook him
in the first fight.
So why you disrespecting him, bruh? He beat Paul Williams.
Disrespecting him. I'm just saying.
Paul Williams was about to beat Canelo's biggest fight.
Carlos Quintana at
I'm not
age
even gonna argue with you, bro.
36.
Y'all don't know boxing,
and whatever he was at that, I mean, look, he wasn't Pacquiao, he wasn't Bernard, he wasn't Mayweather. Like those guys age.
I
but
promise
it doesn't
you.
matter,
I
they were at a
promise
higher
you.
level.
I promise you. If Doomsday has a son, if Alex has a son, J Mac and them have kids, and one of the brothers were a fighter. JD was a fighter. If any of our fucking sons was a world champion that shared the ring and shared the ring with both Paul Williams and Cotto and beat one of them, we'd be super proud. You are just a fucking faker. Get your ass out of here.
And he was 31, 32 when he fought Paul Williams the first time.
This guy's a fucking faker, bro. Anything to win a debate.
That's the point I'm trying to make is that the point wasn't how good was Carlos Quintana. The point was how good was Carlos Quintana at age 36 when he fought Keith Thurman. That's the only point I'm trying to make. Y'all want to
not if you. And he had
look
before he got into it with Keith, he had 2 wins. And I mean, you're probably not going to give Yuri Estrella that much of a.
DeAndre Lattimore was good though.
But DeAndre Lattimore, you got to give him some credit. Yeah. So it's not like he was a total wash up at that age. He had 1 loss before the Keith Thurman, and then before that he had 2 wins. So he was fighting pretty good, man. He was fighting pretty good. So he got TKO'd, you know what I'm saying, by fucking Andre Berto. And he's fighting top competition, though. You know what I'm saying? What round did that TKO happen, Andre Berto? What round? Look what we're looking at here.
I just got it out.
Was this the 6th round? So, you know, you can't just discredit Quintana. I mean, was he on his way out?
Bruh,
maybe so. It was his last fight.
Check this out right here, right? This is another... Errol Spence moved up twice to the 54 division because he couldn't get fights at welterweight. The 2 people that he fought, Phil LaGreco and Van Heerden, are not as accomplished as Quintana. We can move on. This dude's a troll right now. It's cool. We need trolls. We need y'all.
I just think that at that age, Carlos Quintana... Look, Carlos Quintana is limited in a lot of ways. You could talk about a former world champion, but this is boxing where... I mean, aren't you a former world champion? Shit. I mean, there's like 158 titles. I mean, at some point, you got to win one, I guess.
Yeah. Quintana was a WBO champ. He was a WBO champ. He wasn't a WBA champ.
You know who the best... Oh, fuck you. I
don't even know if he was WBO.
Who's the Puerto Rican that fell out of the ring against Paul Williams?
Kermit Cintron.
Yeah, that's a bad example. Never mind.
Of course it is, because he's also a former world champ. You just disrespectful, brother. You just disrespectful. Yeah. And I used to be.
Was
honestly.
Delvin Rodriguez a former world champion?
No.
I mean, we got to also take into consideration where Keith Thurman was in his career when he took on the challenge.
Brother, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
18th fight, maybe he took on him, 19th fight.
And he moves up. He moves up. The only fight, he just moves up. One fight at 54, fights a former world champ, knocks him out, comes right back down.
Yeah,
Get
because
out
a
of
fucking 36-year-old Carlos Quintana probably couldn't make
All right,
anything
bro. Let's
else
move
with
on,
that
man.
weight.
Let's just move on. You hating. You hating. Let's move on. Let's move on,
Carlos
man.
Quintana's a world beater.
Hey, he won a world title, and I wish
pound for pound.
I wish
got it.
everybody could win a world title. I wish everybody could win a world title because everybody cannot. Everybody cannot win a world title. But yeah, man, that's it. I guess that's everybody, and that's the last straw of the debate, man. It is what it is.
Carlo Quintana breaking the camel's back.
At Maury Munguia on Instagram, at Maury Munguia on Twitter. No interviews tonight, so I don't think we're back. But tomorrow,
hopefully we get some breaking news and shit.
Unless we get some breaking news, yeah. But if not, we got a double
day show,
double day show tomorrow. So make sure you hit us in the morning and in the evening. And we have scheduled. Actually, we have some pretty good guests. We always have really good guests, but tomorrow evening we have scheduled on the docket Coach Larry Wade, who I don't think we had on that recently. Maybe we did. I don't remember.
We didn't.
Gabe Rosado, we didn't, right? He was supposed to be on, and then we didn't get him. Gabe Rosado is going to be on at 8 p.m. Eastern, following the 7:30 Eastern interview with Coach Larry Wade. And then we have Brandon Lee at 8:30 p.m., who I'm really excited to talk about. He's the last main event that we've had. That Showbox was the last major card that we got on television, and he was the main event for that. And, he looked great. Competition notwithstanding, he looked great. So we definitely got a lot to chop up. So definitely tune in.
Hey, you guys did kind of talk about Cyborg Challenge and Cecilia, right, the other day?
Yeah, she was one of the main topics on Sunday, I think.
Chris Cyborg.
TBV_casual fan is my Twitter handle. Y'all should know it by now. It is also TBV_casual fan on YouTube and my Patreon page.
Hold up. Don't go nowhere, bruh. This
not someone.
This is just J Mac paying for the ones he did. I thought he was coming back at you and shit. My bad. Go for it.
Okay, J Mac, I'm feeling that. Anyway, patreon.com/boxing fan apparel. I just posted up a new video there. Maybe it's also on Boxing Voice.
Not yet, because you ain't sent me that title yet.
I emailed
to you. You just did. I got the email.
I did it this morning when I logged in. Anyway,
this morning after we was on the show.
Yeah, true indeed. Yes. I also ordered 25 shirts, blanks. I'm about to print.
Yo, I gotta become a patron then. What do you get? I want a shirt level because you take forever to send me shit. So what do I get if I sign up, and how do I get my shirts regularly?
You need to make a shirt, one of the champs, KO and Corona, bro.
I sent you mad designs too. What's up with my designs?
When you sent me a design?
I think we got something that you ain't
put into. You sent me the design of the TBV heavyweight champ.
It's one of the it's a Patreon sent me one, and I was like, yo, this is what I want, and you was like, oh, this a good shirt. It's like some words. It's like Monday morning. It's like Monday morning quarterback, but Monday morning boxer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. We need to come together and think of a better phrase. So you know how Monday morning quarterback, you watch the game, and all of a sudden you think you the fucking
backseat
captain.
Driver,
you know what I'm saying? Backseat driver. So we need the version of that for boxing.
Right. Sunday morning trainer.
Post fight pussy.
Nah,
that don't work. That don't work because that's not like the same.
Post fight champ, nah.
Post fight champ isn't bad. Post fight champ isn't bad.
Brandon, where's Brandon White from? Brandon is from Houston. Brandon, I promise you, yo, send me a message right now on Patreon, and I'm gonna make sure as soon as I hang, I'm going straight to the post office for you. Hopefully I could find Dominic's fucking address and send him his shirt. I owe him a shirt all the way in Seattle and shit.
Do me. What's that Twitter? What's that Instagram?
Yeah, you
follow you right now.
You stole it with the cookie shirt.
Cash, huh?
You got the cookie shirt.
Call me the Cookie Monster shirt I got on. Catch me on IG, Alex_Doomsday_Linus, LAINEZ. Twitter, Alex_TBB. And
they said Sunday Puncher. Does that sound right? Sunday Morning Puncher.
What are you guys trying to figure?
That's not bad. Like the Monday Morning Quarterback references somebody who, points out the obvious after the fact. You know what I mean? It's like in hindsight is what they use. So what's the version of boxing that would make sense? That's like a Monday Morning Quarterback because they come in after the game on Sunday.
Israel from Oklahoma says it's a thing. Sunday Puncher.
Okay.
Sunday Puncher? Really? I've never heard of that.
Me neither.
It's gotta be some Sunday morning,
Sunday locker room.
But yo, we also never heard of. We also never heard of Tiger King till we heard it.
That's true.
Sunday morning. Yo, how about this one? Sunday morning Hall of Famer trainer.
Whoa, that's a mouthful, but I don't know. I got to see how it look like on a shirt, I guess.
I like the idea of it too, but we got to think about like how we always come at it. Like, what are the most excuses that we hear when somebody eats crow, and then they're like, "Nah, but." You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something there. I'm gonna be thinking on this because I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
The Sunday recall.
I sent Enrique the actual text that the Patreon suggested.
So he had already had it.
Yo, matter of fact, oh shit, I think it's my Gmail. My Gmail, ain't that your shirt? Were you the one that sent me that message on Patreon? No? Yes?
Yeah, brother.
It was
yeah,
right?
that was me.
Yo, I'm nasty with the brain, bro. My man.
Yo,
I'm Biggie and Jay-Z.
But ask him what it was, though. What was the name?
He's about to tell you.
It was Monday Morning Boxer Puncher.
Monday Morning Boxer Puncher.
Boxer Puncher.
That's not bad. I don't know if I like that because Boxer Puncher is a thing. Like, Boxer Puncher is a style. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Monday morning.
What about Monday Morning Max Kellerman?
Boo.
No? That's funny. I think it's like
you all advertising Max. Get out of here.
Well, but it means it's like
silver hair Max.
After they pick wrong, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Max always does that.
Ooh, I like Carlito's one, but that doesn't encapsulate boxing. That's just like everything. Sunday morning bookie. I just like yours because it sounds a little bit better. Bookie rhyme. It doesn't rhyme, but it sounds better.
It flows off the tongue.
Yeah, Sunday morning bookie, but it doesn't fit what we're saying.
Monday morning boxer puncher. I like the Monday aspect of it though. I think it'll be easier to get.
I am hungry as hell. I'm gonna use my hunger to send Brandon his koozie, yo. I owe you a koozie, Brandon. Brandon, you should probably let me.
How much does it cost you to ship?
Bro, it's expensive. It's expensive. Bro. That's why Brandon and everybody gotta at least wait 3 months before I ship because everyone, like for him, it might be different. He's in Houston, just like it's gonna be definitely different for Seattle. And when you're dealing with shirts, it's always different because of the weight is different. Yeah. It costs more depending where you're shipping. It's a hassle. That's why I don't ship no more.
I used to do
but
eBay
I owe Brandon a koozie, so I'm going to send him. Plus, it's easy to send koozies. I probably going to re-up on koozies and just send everybody cool because it's easy because you can mail them in the envelope. So sometimes the weight doesn't affect. But the shirts,
you just got to buy a stamp, right?
Nah, man. Yeah, you got to buy the stamp. But the shirts, man, is a hassle because you got to go to the post office and she got to weigh each envelope. And I ain't with all that shit.
I used
That's
to do
like
eBay in college, and I got really good at it for a while, to be honest with you. And yeah, man, it sucks. I mean, it's like cool, but it sucks.
But I promise you, we will start to deliver again through Patreon. They have their own service. We're just not on that level. Like we announced, we only got 133 Patreons. So once we get to that 500 level, then we can set up their delivery service, and you can, you'll be able to get coffee mugs. You'll be able to get coffee mugs. You'll be able to get T-shirts. You'll be able to get a bunch of stuff, and they handle the shipping, so it's never no delay, and they ship globally. I think the word is international,
real quick. Is any of that stuff on Hearn's dad having a health issue true?
I haven't seen anything yet.
I've seen that
I've been on the show with
three times in the last 3 months, and it wasn't true the first couple times. So I don't know. And somebody had posted it on Twitter, and when I clicked the link, it was an old ass link from 2017. So I don't know, bro. I'm not sure. But if it is, that's a huge story.
But yeah, man, That's that. So definitely join us on patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice and help us keep fighting a good fight. Catch us on the next one. Peace.
Peace. Keep 6 feet back.
That's what you finna eat.